in the Morning magazine is here on your doorstep, at your breakfast table with you, and it'll be there till brunch time rolls around. Good morning to you all. All right, thank you for being here in the mix with us this morning. All right, we got you set up this morning. Great day here. Look, all of the good stuff is on your side. Look inside. That's where the good stuff is, my friends. I am Paris. It is a Tuesday, and one of our favorites returns today. Dr. Nidal Ganem returned, noted cardiologist and friend of the program. Yes, indeed. You know, when he comes, we all get a medical revival of a sort here that takes place. And the good news is he will be here this afternoon and this morning in our 10 o'clock hour. And until then, we will go over some of our local and world news. We'll see what's happening across the globe, throughout our country, and in our neighborhoods. We'll do all of that. We'll get much of that in before 9 o'clock. And then we'll talk about Men's Health Month. Men's Health Month. So before I start proselytizing about men's health, let me check at home. Let me follow some sage advice. Let me clean up around my own front door. I'm going to the doctor this afternoon. What's happening with you, Stevens? I got to catch them while they're young, everybody. Stevens is a young man. He's an adult. He's an adult, as he should say in the country, fully growed. He's a fully growed adult.
I'm gonna have to start making those doctor visits for once you start hitting 40, because that's what I'm hitting this year. So
I know if people hear me talk about you and they think like, oh, it's nice, he's got this kid. No, that's affectionately. I call him that.
Yeah.
The same way I do with my own children.
I can still feel like a kid sometimes, but other times, I can feel it in the knees. It just kind of hits you sometimes. Like, oh, I can't make that kind of movement no more.
Are you walking? You doing?
I do my walks, right? I like to do walks. Walking is like my biggest thing. I like to go on the jog, but like that hasn't been happening for a while now. But like, to keep my cardio up. But I definitely enjoy going on walks, whether I'm walking my dog or whether I'm just kind of walking on my own. Definitely walks, and
They keep the moving parts moving.
Mm-hmm.
I ran until I was in my lower 60s. I was 68. What helped was I was over at Progressive Amateur Boxing Association with Reverend Ray Martin, and so you keep the youngsters going. They know you can't keep up with them, but you go out there with them, and as they go out and get their workout in, you get some of yours. But then the knees and joints and other things, just over time.
Yeah, over time, you start feeling like, all right, I can't do all that.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about cardio is it seems to meet you where you are. In other words, 2 blocks two blocks can't get to be enough. I used to laugh at doctors when they would say, "Oh, can you walk 2 blocks?" And I'm like, that little thing goes off in your head, that little cockiness thing. What is this guy talking about? Who does he think I am?
Right.
And then you realize you can appreciate 2 blocks.
Absolutely. And I want to. My cardio is like the main thing I want to work out.
Yes.
Keep, like exercising, because that's the blood flow, that's breathing, and at the very least, that will make sure that I am keeping up with my body's function with that circulatory system. And then stretching. Everybody needs to really understand that stretching is a
big thing.
The older you get, you have to stretch. Make sure you're doing all your stretches right before bed. You do little stretches when you get out of bed. Because those people who are able to have some good limber
suppleness,
all that, and then of course it helps with blood flow, because when you're stretching them tendons and everything, you're like really giving like that.
It's lubricating them. It's like lubricating. Blood is like a lubricant to the joints. That's one of its many functions, right? Yeah.
So, and that's just part of keeping up with your health, and then of course the mental health aspect, keeping up with yourself, making sure that you are doing all the things that help you decompress. And if you're going through some challenges, make sure that you have somebody in your life that you can talk to. And
that's good.
If you need to do professional help, then that's okay too. A lot of people now
call Dr. Nidal Ganem, tell him we don't need him now. yeah, no, but that's true. That's true. It's there's a lot going on mentally today, man. And you see the news and
Yeah.
you read the news, you hear
It's a
about what's
dire
going.
situation out here, and
It
people are
is,
feeling
man.
it, and they're going to need to have a way to decompress and understand it and make peace with it and do better.
Yes.
That's all
Yeah.
we can ask for.
Yeah. And I'm reading these stories. You don't want them in your feed, but you got to keep up with what's happening out
Mm-hmm.
there. Really, you can't bury your head in the sand.
Right.
So you read, but you wind up reading about an adult who kills his 81-year-old father
Mm.
for because he was using the credit cards or something. The
Right.
kid was,
Right.
and,
Right.
and so they had this spat as reported by the papers.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this matter of youngsters popping up. I'm seeing more about these gangs that pop up on the moment and take over little
Oh,
sections.
he's saying when like they do the rush where there's like a whole bunch of them and they go
Yeah.
inside stores and such. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's been going on for years now.
Yeah, it
So,
has.
yeah.
It has, but there's a revival going on. It seems.
I mean, listen, when you don't have investments into your social, your community, if you don't have after school programs, if you don't have like the parks and the gyms available to a lot of these youngsters, right? Because they have all this energy, they want to socialize, but they also want to have the things that they enjoy, like basketball, football, and all sorts of activities that if we just had funding to have this for after school students, whether in high school, middle school, so to keep them out of like getting in some type of trouble or getting involved with these like gangs or anything like that. Like it makes sense if you have something for them.
But you know
It'll
what
be
the
less
response
likely.
to that is going to be? Well, we tried. They're going to say that's midnight basketball. Do you remember the conversation about midnight basketball when Obama was president?
No, I don't remember that.
Well, this was a big thing, man. They mocked the program because they were opening up centers for young people after school,
Right.
and because they determined that at a certain hour of the night, crime increased. Certainly, generally after 8 o'clock or so, so they
Right.
figured they'd open up some of these community centers,
Mm-hmm.
and it became caricatured as midnight basketball, and you were paying former athletes
Mm-hmm.
to open up gyms. Not always former athletes, but
Right.
that's the way. If you're making a caricature of something, you
Mhm.
want it to be as absurd as possible. It's
Right.
outrageous,
Right.
and that program became stigmatized. I think I'm saying with Obama, but I think it was more of a feature in the Clinton era, if I'm not wrong. It could have
Possible.
been.
If you're going to the Clinton
'cause-
era, then I'm
yeah,
definitely too
yeah.
young to remember that.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was focused
Yeah,
on.
well,
Ninja
it could have been the
Turtles.
Clinton era when they started talking about it.
Yeah.
But you just look up the midnight
look
basketball
that
thing
up. I
sometimes.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
because the arguments ran along the lines you're speaking now. That was the reasoning
Yeah.
behind it. And
But it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially
yeah.
now in today's current society with so much being exposed through social media, they're
Yeah.
going to look for things.
well, look, I know you got to get out of here,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's tomorrow, bro? Oh, because I won't be here tomorrow. I got
You're
it
gonna
all
be-
day.
Okay.
That's
So
like,
I got you.
I got
For tomorrow.
Yeah, all day testing tomorrow on the health thing that we're talking about.
On the
You
health
see,
thing.
I got one
Stay-
today at 9, and
Right.
then I got another one that's all day
Listen,
tomorrow at
you are
10.
staying on top of your health. That's the important part. Tomorrow, talking politics with friends. I'm gonna have Dr. Biko, and Maria Yvonne with me, and our guest is gonna be Sam Osser, who is a local Houston journalist and covers a lot of the things that are going on regarding like organizing, specifically policies and campaigns. One of the ones that she had been involved in that were huge was the tenants unions that were starting to form in Houston. Because of the prices of rent going up
Right,
and
sure.
all these things. So I know she's done some work on that recently, and she has her own show that streams on a different platform, and she focuses on certain reports to like organize for an episode. So I want to poke her brain and ask what she's working on lately, what's got her attention here locally in Houston that she wants to bring more eyes to, and like give her that opportunity to talk about it, share about it on our show. And then of course we're gonna chop it up about what's going on with the local dynamics with the Houston elections and politics, and Chris Hollins and his push for more education around the budget, especially since this budget already passed and there's a lot of criticisms around this budget, and going into next year for more people to be engaged, because I believe next year is a election year for Houston mayor, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
So I think Chris Hollins is also staying in people's consciousness and on their screens, because he wants people to recognize him come time to run for mayor next year.
That would be interesting, because it sounds to me as if Pollard is also looking in that direction.
Yeah, so we'll see who gains more energy, and
then I don't know who else is out there. Do you?
Yeah, no. But the Houston mayor is a mosh pit, because there's no party affiliations, one Republican, one Democrat. Houston mayor is like, you could have a whole slate of people that don't identify as anything, but it could be 8, it could be 12, and then we got to choose from them until we have a runoff, right?
Yeah.
So we'll probably get like another billionaire in there that's going to want to run for mayor. Probably Tony Busby might say that he wants to run for mayor again. We'll see. But we're looking ahead, but I think Chris Hollins has a good pulse right now, feel for the pulse of what's going on with budgets, and also that ties to people's affordability. So we're gonna sprinkle all that in our conversation tomorrow night when we're doing some talking politics with friends.
I noticed that when you speak, it always comes back to budget. Mm-hmm. Because you see so many other things, you're able to peel back layers. Right. When I have these conversations with you, it talks about, well, if you're going to have a policy, money's got to come from somewhere, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that, try and help people learn, is that politics, when it comes to these offices, is all about the money that they have control over. That's really what it is. Our taxes. What are they using it for? Everything that we are experiencing, lack of policy or foreign policy, is all dependent on who is handing out the checks with our tax dollars and what's being funded, and do we have a say in that? And the more people understand that, the more they get engaged, especially now when things are so hard to afford and people are counting their dollars and they're watching what's being done with our tax dollars. I think the conversation to go back to budget is always going to be relevant now during this era.
I think how you get to the heart of your discussion when you're doing talk, no matter what it is, you've got to provide a portal for people to get to the importance of your subject, how it relates to other things. This morning we're going to be talking about health, which is tied to economic status.
Right.
That's why we have such disparate incomes.
It's a healthcare system, not healthcare. It's a healthcare industry. It's not just healthcare.
And everybody can't afford it.
And everybody can't afford it, unfortunately. And I see time and time again these different stories. I didn't click on it, but I just read the caption. It was this. I don't know if there were a couple or there were just 2 patients that, one of them has been diagnosed with cancer and needs treatment. The other one's been diagnosed with something else and needs treatment, and they're about to lose their Medicare. So they had to choose between the 2 of them which one they're going to continue with their service. And those kinds of situations is just unnecessary. When people are sick, it shouldn't be a question of can they afford. It should be just a question of accommodating them and giving them the care that they need. And hopefully we are now in the current transition of leaving this old mentality that somebody's got to pay for it. Of course, everybody's paying for everything. It's just what are we paying for? And if I had my choice between paying for wars and instead paying for people's health care, I'd rather people pay for people's health care. That affects them more directly, and that improves their quality of life. And I think that for anybody who's out there with any type of current illness, chronic illness that they grew up with, lived with, and they got to be constantly in and out of hospitals with doctor's visits, they understand what it is, And for those who are family members of those people, they understand what it is, how much attention and care is needed, and how much funding, if it wasn't an issue, would just lighten the load for them to just focus on getting healthy or staying healthy.
That tracks with your statement. If we all share in lifting, then the burden becomes lighter.
Absolutely.
And that is true in health. Everything we can do to help lessen the cost, unburdens more people to do it. Well, look, yeah, I always appreciate it when you come in here and spend this time with me. And tomorrow night, I'm going to look forward. Politics with friends. Politics with friends. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah,
I'm gonna be heading out and go talk to these TSU students for a couple hours, and then I will be back on there tomorrow night, and I'll see you hopefully by Thursday morning then.
Absolutely. Okay,
right.
My brother. All right.
All
right. Steven Zarosco, my friends. He's right here. He's right here with us, my guy. Keeps us alive on the I started to say on the AI tip, on the IT tip. Yes, indeed. So you join him right here tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. He'll be here with Dr. Biko Gray, and also with take care, man. And also with Yvonne Maria Rodriguez. they will all be here. And Sam Oster, I think he said, who is a journalist here. So it'll be interesting conversation. We want to keep you up on this music and not this movement, this movement, what's going on here. And speaking of music, though, since I made that blunder, let me tell you something. Let me be intentional now about talking about music, because I got to talk about ODS, the original Don Sam. Don Sam will be here at 3 o'clock, and it's all the best in music from now and times gone by. If you want to reminisce, or if you want to catch up to what's going on contemporarily, get ODS. MD is what I call him. Oh, my Don. He's got great music. He plays the hits from then and now.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up. That has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental, 713-738-1999.
Hey, and we do thank you for being here with us this morning. Drive carefully out there. We're getting a break in between storms, I'm told, and that's a good thing. We like it when that happens. But drive carefully. Rain will return. Rain is expected to return shortly, and we want you to move around safely out there. Stay with us this morning. There's lots to discuss. Also, let's say good morning to our friends Michael Von Williams from F Force Industries. Michael is going to be speaking. He's going to be one of the speakers on June 18th. At Texas Southern University, and they're going to discuss Texas University itself and our school system. It'll be an adventure in history, and you'll get to know some of the history of Texas Southern University. We've got several speakers there, and let me give you the rundown while I'm at it here. Let's get this set up for you so that you don't have to be wondering. We got Air Force Industries. You've heard his commercial. It talks about he is going to be at. He's giving me a sticker here. Let's see. He's going to be the copy of the Michael Vaughn Williams. And he's going to be speaking at Texas Southern University. He's going to join some other speakers at the Texas Southern University Learning Center. Special Collections Exhibit Wing on the second floor. That's June 18th, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. You are welcome to attend. Michael Vaughn Williams from Aquamatic Irrigation, a graduate from over there, and he's going to be speaking. It is, let's see, the opening remarks will be State Representative Jolanda Jones, and the Mistress of Ceremony will be the Honorable State Representative Jolanda Jo Jones. And words from Texas Southern University by Vice Admiral James W. Crawford III. He was the 14th president of Texas Southern University. And there's going to be a hard conversation about harsh integration at Fidelity Manor High School in Galena Park, class of 1974, and Black and 16 and Bloody Sunday. That'll be a conversation held by Dr. Alexander Brown, visionary civil rights leader, and there'll be awards and recognitions to be given out. And so one of the speakers over there is going to be Michael Vaughn Williams, whom you hear on our station talking about Texas Southern University Learning Center. Want you to be sure to attend. He's going to send me some more background information. Along with two of his classmates, they're going to speak on their experiences with the closing of our schools and forced integration. So you get the opportunity to go back to see how far we've come and to see what it was like then, and the need to remain engaged now, I assume, is going to be part of that conversation. So it promises to be an engaging conversation. July 18th, one day before Juneteenth. So please go out. It's 23 minutes after the hour.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
Are you looking for a pharmacy where you're more than just the next person in line, where the pharmacists are friendly, willing to talk to you about your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, where they make deliveries to customers in the general area? Then you need my pharmacy of choice, Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, right off of I-10 East near the 610 Loop. James Muldrow and his staff are there to serve you. I've been a customer for over 37 years. The insurance companies have tried to steer me to the corporate pharmacies, but I prefer Mercury Drive. It's a staple in East Houston, serving Fidelity, Jacinto City, Pleasantville, Fifth Ward, North Shore, Wood Forest, Galena Park, Channel View, offering free delivery to those areas and others. Most insurances are accepted. Mercury Drive Pharmacy is open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. Phone 713-674-6122, 713-674-6122. Mr. Muldrow and his staff are happy to serve you. Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, south of I-10 East.
Michael Harris at noon today. Michael will be here with us. Michael came back home yesterday, yes, indeed, and it was a joy having him here. It was just a great thing having Michael on yesterday, and to have his voice back in that 12 o'clock hour, I got to tell you, it is like old times. The band gets together again now and again. Now, if we can get Wash in the mix, that would really be something, wouldn't it? That would be such a great thing. I don't know. I got to talk with Wash. It's like the last hurrah. Come on, man. I mean, I say the last one here, but when you get to wherever you're going, those of you who have dreams of paradise. We'll be there with the radio station and Skipper Lee. We'll be there, and Travis and all of you, George Nelson and Rick Roberts. We'll all be there. Yes. So while this particular group is left, let's do some of it while we're here to give them a preview. All right. So yes, indeed. Please be sure that you get the opportunity to call in and thank Michael Lawrence Harris. Michael Lawrence Harris is back at noon, from noon to 1. Good morning. Well, I'm going to do this. So, caller, I'm going to ask you to hold on, because this is going to be an abbreviated hour, of course, abbreviated show, because we got to talk to Dr. Nidal Ganem, and he when he comes around, great things happen. He's a noted cardiologist and just a sincere man about helping people, and he wants to spread his information around, not his information, the information from the American Medical Association and the other medical institutions with whom he is affiliated, about the items that matter to us, our health-related items. He's going to join me this morning, and I'm always looking forward to Dr. Nidal Ganem. So he will be here later. So let me tell you this. The GOP cries foul over California, but fails to echo the Trump claims. In other words, they don't go as far. Some of them don't go as far to say it's cheating. However, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and some of the other speakers do come out and say there's hanky-panky going on. And, of course, their desire is to undermine faith in the system, and they seem to be doing that by vehemently insisting that there's rigging. This is rigged. The California election for mayor was rigged. House Speaker Mike Johnson said that the results of the California primary election stinks to high heaven, as he saw it, and they're so upset about the Democrat who won in this election, or who qualified for the second spot on the ballot, and they claimed that there had to be something wrong. So Mike Johnson says it stinks to high heaven, but he did stop short of backing Trump's claim that Democrats are cheating or have rigged the election. What he said was they are counting votes weeks after the election. I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm saying it stinks to high heaven. No, you're not saying it. You're not saying that they cheated. You're implying that they did, though, and leaving it for people you hope to draw the same conclusion that you did. They are counting ballots for weeks because that's what they do in California. You remember, each state has the right to run its own election, and there are others who are on board with that. J.D. Vance said, and he said that he thought there was something fishy going on, and so that's the Republican line. He says John Thune, who is the Senate Majority Leader from South Dakota, said, "I'm not going to defend any of Californians' elections process. I think it's crazy that it takes that long to count votes." But that's what they've decided to do. Now, under this same system, I got to point out that Republican governors were elected under the same system. Schwarzenegger and who was the other? I recall. Let's see, it's one I recall from being out there. Dukakis, was his name? No, what was his name? I want to say Dukakis, but it was not that. I can tell you. What the Republicans? Duke Majan. Duke Majan sounds right to me. It was something on that order, but it was a Republican governor. Republican governors have won out there, and there have been more recent Republican governors. But though these are being declared, some people are implying that this cheating has gone on, and this is the way of politicians and politics right now. But there are other things that are going on. The White House is negotiating federal preemption of state AI laws in exchange for some of their priorities in these new bills coming up. President Trump says Iran peace deal possible in 2 or 3 days. Well, we've heard that one before, so we'll see how that goes. And Trump commented on a judge who struck down a $100,000 H-1B visa fee that he was attempting to charge people. He says they are giving us a very hard time. These are some of the stories we're going to go over with you throughout the course of this morning's show. 713-668-1230 for those of you who might want to slip in just before we get to Dr. Nita Ganem. Hello, caller. You're on.
Good morning, Paris.
How are you, sir?
Oh, physically and mentally, I'm wonderful. Look, this young guy you had who was talking about walking this morning.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've already run 10 miles this morning. And
Yeah.
I've taken no medications. I've said my resting blood pressure is 45. You want to talk physical?
Sure, yes, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
man.
I applaud you for that. I know that, yeah.
No, so there's some of us don't think, oh yeah, everybody's broken down like we. No, some of us know what we're doing and are blessed. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, first of all, my God, Trump, just close your eyes and imagine every single person at Madison Square Garden booing you. I mean, how tough Paris could probably handle booing by that many people, but not too many people could stand that. But mentally, talk about, wow, how can anybody handle being booed? Because it doesn't get in his head, okay? That's part of he's a different cat, okay? And don't be like them, Democrats. Democrats, you're about to be like the Republicans in Maine. Vote somebody in that's almost like Paxton, and now you're getting to that level. And do you really want that? Yes, because if you want to win, you do it by whatever means necessary. Forget the principle, the politics. You do as us Republicans, and when you get to that, you'll be no better than us, ladies and gentlemen. But look, Paris, I'm having my second cup of coffee this morning, and that's my way of, without naming names. I believe he might be saying, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. Although it's been said many ways, you can do it, but you cannot separate the two, ladies and gentlemen. Look, it's like separating and saying it's the system of white supremacy. No, it's the people. Without people, there is no system. Without people, there is no world. Without the people, there's no KCOH. And by the way, KCOH in the afterlife, some people actually believe that there's a physical afterlife, and it'll be like here in this world. We're all going to be playing dominoes and telling stories. Who knows? You might be right, okay? Whoever you agreed with that principle, but you might be wrong. But I guess you'll find out, and me included there. But look, getting back to the sin. Yeah. Oh no. What was Flip Wilson famous? The devil made me do it. Well, the system it made me do it. No. At some point, I don't care if you grew up in a criminal, drug-infested neighborhood. At some point, it is about self-responsibility, and you make your own choices. To blame the rest of your life because you grew up in the bad neighborhood and you can't change anything about it, or you got fat and out of shape, and now, that was my drawing life. No, you have choices. You make your choices, okay? So don't rely on blaming the system of racism, white supremacy, or McDonald's made me fat, or I grew up in a foster home and nobody cared about me. Nobody loved me as a baby. I never got hugged, and this is why I am who I am. At some point, you gotta you can't forget all that, okay? Understand that. But you have your mind, you have the choice, and I know you gotta have the tools. So somebody's got to teach you the truth, or you can learn on yourself, self-study. My man Paris has talked about his life as juvenile delinquent. Look at him now. Yes, it's possible. Forgetting the system, forgetting where you come from. Yeah, that's my flowers to Paris right now. He did it, and so can you. Yeah, you need help, but you can do it with or without people. It just takes work, your inner work. Paris, yeah, I'll be listening to the health show, even though I'm an excellent health. But I like that doctor. Okay, I like.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, well, because he is not just locked into standard medicine. I mean, he's not doing woo-woo stuff, but he talks about the other side that reflect the attitude that you're talking about. The other side, the aspects of our personality that you could exercise. One thing, we are tribe. We are tribe beings. I mean, we're mind, body, and spirit, or some people say soul, body, and spirit. However they construct it, it is so that these facets affect one another, and he comes at it from that. He lets you know, like what you're doing out there. Most runners know this, and serious exercise enthusiasts know this. They know about the rewards, and they know about the different kinds of stimuli that you can use to get your body and mind into a clearer place to help elevate consciousness. So he speaks from that. He speaks from that,
and that's why I like him, because he talks my language. I've studied all 5 major religions. I've gone with Eastern medicine. Be open to changes, okay?
Yeah.
You can change even at 80 years old, okay? And it's coming up. It's coming up. I know. Have a good day, guys.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll say this about people withstanding booze, BOOS, booze, about being booed. NFL players, healthy ball players have that mental attitude. The healthy ones go on to perform at a very high level, and many of them who may not even be noted as extremely wealthy or super class players have a healthy mentality, because they know criticism comes with what they do. And they know that a lot of people who are criticizing them don't have to do what they do and couldn't perform at the level at which they are performing. And so when you begin to think in those terms, you think you're on your path, that those people out there are on those, and you can always remind yourself that given the opportunity, some of them would not excel at any job that they perform, and there are others who are stuck in jobs where they're having their own problems and don't get into and will not rise to the level that they have risen, the players, in their own profession. So that's one way we deal with that kind of thing. As we said, we quoted Teddy Roosevelt. The credit goes to the man who's in the arena. The credit goes to the woman who's in the arena. The person who is out there actually confronting the problem and doing something about it, which leads me into your next observation about hating the game. Well, there's a variation on that too that is more active-oriented to me. The one says, don't hate the player, hate the game. Well, either way, you're just talking about an emotion that you have and transferring it from one place to another. But there's a solution that goes beyond that. It says, don't hate the game, change the game. See, one requires action. Another only requires that you voice your opinion. So he's saying, don't hate the player, don't hate the player, hate the game. You're giving advice to somebody else that doesn't involve you. But if you can say, don't hate the game, you don't even have to hate the game, because people play whatever games they want. But what about you? If you choose to be a player in that game, then you should change the game. If you choose. Otherwise, you're just somebody else commenting on a game. So there's nothing particularly constructive about that. You're just saying you're still dealing with a negative, strong negative emotion. Don't hate this, hate that. Okay, all right. So that's just something that you're saying to people. But I think if you're exhorting people to become involved, I think one of the things you want to say, particularly if you intend to lead from example, don't. If you hate the game, change the game. That's fair too. If you hate the game, or when you hate the game, change the game, because that's within your power too. Otherwise, you're saying to the people who created the game that they have all the power. They have the power to create it, but you don't have an equal power to dismantle it. And that's not true, because we notice that the rules to the game change according to who's in power. You see how circular this all becomes? So some of these short, pithy answers are not really answers at all. And short, pithy answers that are just glib replies are, that's fair in some instances. But now, if you're saying we're going to have a conversation about ways to go forward, just telling somebody, well, just look, don't worry about it. In other words, you're saying, look, that's already set in stone. Don't even try to change that. And just, you feel like you feel and go your way. And you know what? There are times when that is the way. Sometimes I hear conversations. I see people talking about things. I'm saying they're married to that. That's who they are. I'm not going to change them, because that's a fruitless and a pointless conversation. But it's not like that's great advice for life. It's not like that's some prepackaged advice that you can take from a movie and transfer it into real life. So you do have to think for yourself in those kinds of things. What am I saying? What am I saying? When you're going into a serious discussion, or a discussion that you intend to have meaning. So that's it. And as for the other aspect, Mike, about deprivation, yeah, everybody can't dig themselves out. If that were just so, and if it were as easy as everybody digging themselves out, we'd all be doing it. Some people don't even know what they're capable of, and they need other people to remind them or help show them. So we can inspire people and show them that there's more in you than you think is there. And we can do it sometimes in reference to our own lives, but we have to be careful when we're talking about our own successes, because some of us don't always like to give credit. We like to pretend that we got where we were because we were just so dynamic and so efficient and so perspicacious, if you will. Perspicacious. That's just a word I like that I'm throwing in there for the hell of it. For the hell of it, okay? It means extremely competent. It means, and so because we think that we want people not to see the people in the background sometimes, the people who did help us along. See, this is what I mean when I say two things can be true, only not two things that sound different can be true, but not in the same way at the same time, because it's still on you, despite having talked about the need to interact with others. You may need some assistance, but it's still on you, and that's the point I think Mike was pointing to, and is one worth pointing to. At the end of the day, one life per customer. You just don't get to say, oh, well, it was tough and the game was tough, and I just decided to opt out, and therefore everything else that happened because those people would not let me in. You got to fight to be in. You want to get in. All right? It's 13 minutes before the hour of 10 o'clock. Hey, hello, Angela Leonard. How are you, dear lady? We trust that you're fine. Deborah Bates, good morning to you. Pretty Black, we trust you are doing well. And, of course, Sandra Smith Lee. Yes, indeed. And Sheila. Sheila, we hope you're recovering and everything is fine with you. And good morning to Brent as well. Yeah, the Smith girls, they are out there doing what they do, and that's a good thing. Good morning to you, Miss Sarah Moses and Shirley Brass. We thank all of you for joining us this morning. Awesome Rob and Mrs. Awesome and mother-in-law Awesome. We thank you too, Paul Wright. Paul Wright, good morning to you, and we always appreciate your correspondence. And our guy Mo. Speaking of people with great audio-visual skills, Bo performs services for his church and his community by helping with their IT systems. AI has me really confused now. I am having to decide when I mean AI and when I mean IT, but Bo uses his talents in the community. And then Keith Downey also has a show with us called Community Chat, and we do admire and respect those of you who put so much time and work in our community. Hello, caller. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Parrish.
Yo, what's going on? Well, speak of you. Speak of the giver. What's going on?
Oh, man. Getting ready to go to your hometown today.
Oh, going down to Virginia. Yeah, the land of the Navy. Yeah, Virginia Beach, Norfolk.
Some loose ends before I leave town.
Oh, okay. You gonna get some seafood down there this time?
Huh?
You gonna get the opportunity to get some seafood down there this time around?
Yeah, you know, my daughter's a seafood connoisseur.
Yes. I know she's got great places for you, huh?
Yeah, she got a birthday this week too. So.
Oh, another Gemini. Okay.
Yeah.
Give her my regards. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, definitely. You and your lovely wife and your family in general, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we going to go get her. She been gone too long. As what's the blues singer? Southern Soul. What's the new guy on the block right now? I can't think his name.
I don't know.
He got a song. I can't think of it. But anyway, I was just trying to put a play on music.
But you know, here's the deal. One thing about it, when you say she's been gone too long, you just covered 50 songs that were recorded over the past 2 weeks.
I know. Matter of fact, the dog going to go get her.
I mean, now you really, because you know the dog has got to be in every song. The dog has got to be
George
in there.
is the guy name, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Paris, I want to come in on what you was discussing with Texas Mike, and then I hear this often on this channel, you know, about the game and all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I guess we shouldn't be players in the game, right? Is what they're getting at.
Sort of sounds like that.
To me, you know, one of my favorite quarterbacks was Peyton Manning, because I loved the way he would, you know, go up to the line of scrimmage and read defenses and call an audible and make the necessary adjustment to make a successful play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's missing in our community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and especially in the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
But in our community as a whole, you know, we're not making the necessary adjustments. One thing I love about the Tea Party was they put skin in the game and they put money in the game.
Yes,
right?
they did. Yes, they did.
And so, but they was playing the game.
Right.
And as Texas Mike was saying, they playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we need to get in the game to play the game, because trust me, the Tea Party was in a minority at some point, right?
Oh yeah, they were. They absolutely were. That's right.
And now they the transition into MAGA, right?
Yeah.
And so
And they started at the state level. They laid out their game plan before they executed it. They got with ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, and they got candidates on the school board first. And then they moved them from there through up the political ladder until they were picking governors. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And picking senators.
That's right.
And picking, and so you have to not hate the game. You have to adjust to the game.
You got to study the game. You got to study the game. You got to study the game. Yes. Yeah.
You got to study the game, and then you have to adjust, make your necessary adjustments.
Absolutely.
Because you will get consumed and bruised up by the game, right?
yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
that's true.
And so I just think we're not strategic enough, and then we just can't be doing all this talking. We got to go there and be active and involved. Not only we have to go there and be active and involved, we also have to go and put our money into think tanks. Put our money into political action committees.
Yes.
Because, if I'm coming talking to you, you ain't gonna hear me. If I'm coming talking to you by myself.
Right.
If I come talk to you with an organization behind me and with some capital behind me, then you gonna hear what I gotta say.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's what we're failing at.
All right. I think you're right, Bo. And look, I want you to have a safe trip. And listen, you give me a call when you're down there in my hometown and tell them I said hello. All right, my brother.
I will.
All right.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental. And yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
Are you looking for a pharmacy where you're more than just the next person in line, where the pharmacists are friendly, willing to talk to you about your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, where they make deliveries to customers in the general area? Then you need my pharmacy of choice, Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, right off of I-10 East near the 610 Loop. James Muldrow and his staff are there to serve you. I've been a customer for over 37 years. The insurance companies have tried to steer me to the corporate pharmacies, but I prefer Mercury Drive. It's a staple in East Houston, serving Fidelity, Jacinto City, Pleasantville, Fifth Ward, North Shore, Wood Forest, Galena Park, Channelview, offering free delivery to those areas and others. Most insurances are accepted. Mercury Drive Pharmacy is open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. Phone 713-674-6122, 713-674-6122. Mr. Muldrow and his staff are happy to serve you. Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, south of I-10 East.
And now, a message from the Future Frequency.
Young voters, Gen Z and millennials, our world is moving fast, and the issues hitting your pockets and your peace, they're all on the ballot. Rent, safety, jobs, student debt, and yes, home ownership. Whether you're aiming for your first keys or keeping your roof steady, voting is where those issues get decided. So click off the mute button and let your voice be heard. Tap in, lock in, and make a plan to vote. The future is live right now, and you're the frequency.
This message is powered by Diversity of Thought and proudly sponsored by 1230 KCOH The Source.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. Well, I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's hear what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Max says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. You better do what you got to do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
WeServiceUnlimited.com. WeServiceUnlimited.com. 833-937-3788. 833-937-3788. Well, hello! It's getting hot in here. You don't need to worry or have no fear, 'cause we serve. We serve you. Fix anything you think is nothing we can't do, 'cause we serve. We serve you. We serve you. Oh, we serve.
Big job, small job. Call We Service Unlimited, 833-937-3788. Or go to WeServiceUnlimited.com.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230 KCOH.com, Sankeet Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.
A Tip from Gilbert, Mondays 11 a.m. on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
From the backwoods of Mississippi to the bright lights of Chicago.
And leaving would be the last thing on my mind if I could turn back the hands of time.
From the backwoods of Arkansas to the bright lights of Chicago. A 1969 #1 million seller.
Baby, can I change my mind?
A 1969 #1 million seller.
Who's making love to your old lady? I'm making love.
TD.
So good to be home with you.
JT.
Only my woman can.
Tyrone Davis. Johnny Taylor. It's a classic showdown. This Friday afternoon at 3 on 1230 KCOH, The Source. From the backwoods of Mississippi to the bright.
I am Paris. Good morning to you. We thank you for being with us. The Morning Magazine. We're going to have to start calling this the Ganem edition or something. I got to tell you, Dr. Nidal Ganem is here with us this morning. Look, it's Men's Health Month. It's Men's Health Month. So I want to just jump. I just want to just jump right in and see, find out first of all. I want to know how you've been doing. Of course, we want to know that. But I found that the audience likes you. They like your information, and they like me a lot better when I just get right on into it. And I like me a lot better when I get on into it.
Well, I'm happy to be here with you, Paris.
It's good, man.
And
It's
I
good.
appreciate everyone listening, and
Yes.
we're just here to help.
Look at the All-Star team back there too. All right,
And it's growing. And it's growing.
growing. I see. So that's that. The floor is yours. You know that, and then if we have some interaction, because I got some things in my mind. I want
you to mention them because I know last time you did it, I don't know if we ever got to it. So this
Well,
is
that's the way it is when we chop it up like that.
This
This
is
is good. I did. I got to it, but they are ongoing things, and I knew you were coming back. So
Of course,
this is, yeah.
and I appreciate that. And I know it's Men's Health Month, but really, every day, men and women, we have to have our health at our forefront of our minds, right? Health is wealth, and without that, you have nothing. And so the goal is just establishing that. And I like to make it as simple as possible. And before we start, if you don't mind, it's really just establishing a foundation of truth in regards to health because it's so complicated. There's so many divisions in medicine, which is a blessing, right? Because then you have experts, right?
Yes.
But then when you have so much information, especially online and then biohackers, and there's a lot of good that comes from that. But my message is about self-empowerment and how can you live your life in the simplest, best way possible, given your current circumstances, because everyone's circumstances are different, in a way that promotes health, wellness, and well-being.
Okay, so before we go any further, please say good morning to Bo, who is on his way out of town, but was waiting to say hello
Oh,
to you.
good
this
morning, Bo.
So,
Have a
yes,
safe
indeed.
trip.
He's going down to. He's got a daughter in the military. He's going down to Norfolk,
Oh,
Virginia.
many
and
blessings to her.
Yeah. And so.
And I'm looking forward to a world where we no longer need a military.
Yeah.
To where peace and freedom for all is our baseline. And that's the direction we're moving to, whether people like it or not.
So let's talk about the world and our health and our mental state. You want to approach from that. Whenever you stated the concerns about the world, it just translates to me automatically that what I read in the papers, what I hear on the broadcast systems, what I see through different media, has an effect on the way I feel, man. I gotta tell you.
That's not an accident.
Yeah, right. So no matter from where we start, it could always start with you on mental health, and then we can go from there. If that's the way you want to approach it, you've got the.
We're just gonna go with the flow, and just the overall macro of all of this is we have to understand how the macro and the micro, the external and the internal, communicate with each other. From what you just said and the feelings that you have, that feeling of worry, concern, fear, hopelessness, powerlessness, this has been going on for how many decades? Centuries?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You could say World War I, World War II. I'm no historian.
I'd say since the limbic brain.
And it triggers the same reaction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the results have been the same. Fair?
Yeah.
So clearly there has to be a change, and that change is going to come from each individual realizing who and what we really are and the power each and every one of us have that contribute to this overall collective experience. And I always say the cure for heart disease and the solution for humanity are one and the same. Mm-hmm. And so if we can understand health in a simple, easy to understand, all-encompassing way. I love all-encompassing because that includes everyone. There's a lot of division in regards to race, age, gender, religion, upbringing, culture, and everything. But the moment we understand that pretty much we all came from the same place, and that we all want and desire the same things, and health responds the same way, regardless of who you are, where you are, what your upbringing was. It's more of a unification, right? And in a way that's easy to understand and immediately actionable. And so if we can understand the true nature of a human being and how our health is optimized, how can we optimize our daily lives in a way that promotes thriving? Because the ultimate goal of my message is to create a future where health is our natural state. We no longer have to fight or worry about how can we live our lives in a way that's simple, that promotes well-being in a way that it is now natural, to where disease is abnormal and health is normal. And that will then translate to freedom for all humanity in a better world. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I'm going to say to you.
And I know that sounds unimaginable from where we stand right now, but that's the beauty of it.
It is the positioning then to get to the place.
Yes.
Where it doesn't sound unimaginable.
That is correct.
It's imaginable to me. All right?
It's a beautiful imagination.
However, that has not always been so.
Well, that's why we will be the first to ensure of that. How exciting is that?
Yeah, that's great. It's great. Devoutly to be wished for.
How exciting is that? Yeah. But we have to have a goal.
And then I pick up a newspaper. Mm-hmm. Or I go to a digital outlet. Mm-hmm. Or something comes across my feed that is despairing. I read that a 40-some-year-old man killed his 81-year-old father, or a bunch of people of different races were at one another's throat in the middle of the street. And then it begins to maybe diminish a little. Maybe I was impractical. Maybe those other established thoughts reassert themselves.
Yeah. Well, this is why we cannot, what I found for myself when I'm going through a health journey, right? At one point in my life, I was not in the best shape,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And when you look at the mountain ahead, right, it's very stressful.
Yes.
It's like, why even? I'll start tomorrow, right? And so what I found for myself is, how can we take this complex, difficult, perceivably difficult task, break it down in a way that is simple and easy to understand then the root cause, and then based off of that root cause, create daily actionable steps that push you in the right direction, right? And then once you understand what you're doing and why you are doing it, and that's built on a foundation of unchangeable, immutable truth, then that allows you to be disciplined, to be focused, to be consistent, and then just repetition. And then believing in then what you cannot see, right? Hoping that the daily actions you take today will translate to the future that you desire requires faith.
Yes. Yes.
What is faith? Believing in the unseen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you can only be consistent with a change when it is built on a foundation of truth. Mm-hmm. And so the purpose of this, I would like, is just to establish that foundation of truth. And in this realm in this conversation is going to be regards to health.
Yes.
And then once we've established that, then let's connect the dots. How can me living this way that promotes better health individually, because you're not going to change anything unless you are your best self, you are strong, you are healthy, you are well, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, And then and then the question will be, is me being that, which will then inspire others to be that, because everyone wants to be healthy, will that then translate to a healthier world? And from what I've read in your presents and gifts, it seems like you already know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of the reasons we want to do this kind of talk. Because as
This
you
is
know,
the only
there are
talk
different
that
kinds.
matters.
There are different kinds.
Everything
of
else
talk.
is a distraction.
Yeah.
Everything else that promotes fear, worry, anxiety. Awareness of the problem is important, because you're never going to work towards a solution unless you are aware that there is a problem.
Yes.
Now, everyone pretty much is aware that there is a problem. There's a problem with our health. Heart disease has become an epidemic.
Yes.
1 in 2 U.S. adults have some form of heart and vascular disease. Seems like everyone's on a blood pressure medication, which it's not bad in and of itself, but chronic disease is rising, right? We have advances in medicine, science, technology, AI, yet we're saving people, right? People are no longer dying of heart. We're able to catch it. We're able to help minimize the stroke risk. We're able to, if you have multi-vessel heart disease, we can do open heart surgeries. We can do heart stents. It's a blessing, right? That
Yes.
we're able to do this. Now we're at a time to where, okay, so we're aware there's a health problem.
Yes.
We are aware, if you have eyes, that the world can be much better than it is today, right?
Yes.
So we are now aware that there's a problem. Now we are entering an age that we need to be laser focused on solutions, right? And there's a lot of money in pushing out fear and continuing to push that awareness, right? But as long as we remain in fear and worry and powerlessness, nothing's going to change. And so this is about what is the solution? That's all I care about.
So this cycle of fear, as you pointed out, is as old as man. So do we get addicted to it? Because fear does too. Also, if I'm understanding this properly, fear dispenses its own chemicals into the body.
That is correct.
So might one become addicted? You get so that it's hard to break away from the fear.
Well, it's only hard if you don't have awareness of what the solution is, right? So up to this point, what I found is that we know stress and worry kills, but how, why, right? Do my thoughts, words, emotions actually have an underlying influence on my health? We feel it, but no one talks about that, right? And so let's talk about it.
Okay.
Because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it is. And I would say good morning to Texas Mike, too.
Good morning, Texas Mike. I love that name.
Exercise enthusiast, and he was just calling to update us on his number of miles that he runs. And we talk about topics such as this. But I want to stay with this I'm going to approach this from the men's health standpoint just for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I hear that I've read, and doctors seem to be in agreement now, that there's much to be gained in older persons, men specifically, it's cited, in gardening, in things like, as a matter of fact, they say specifically gardening, because the planting and replanting reestablishes loops in the brain. The neurosurgeons, neurologists are saying that there's more going on than just somebody doing a repetitive behavior, that through this action, they actually establish or create new neural pathways. Can you tell us about these kinds of these kinds of, I'm going to call them remedies out of lack of knowledge. How, boy, I hate to use this word, but I'm trying to speak in your terms, and you can straighten me out without trying to lose the audience. How effective, how efficacious are they? How practical are they?
Well, let's think about it.
Okay.
So, the brain and the heart and the body respond to how you feel.
Yes.
Doesn't really care why you feel the way you do. It responds to how you feel. For example, you imagining gardening, sitting in a chair, empty room, and visualizing and imagining gardening, going to the store, looking forward to it, a little bit of joy, a little bit of excitement, being one with nature. I get to shut off the outside world. I'm being present, and I'm doing an activity that I enjoy. The neuroplasticity, the brain pathways, the cellular physiology will change just as much as if you are gardening physically.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so let's break down this action as to the health benefits. When you are doing that, is that something that you probably enjoy? Yeah?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right, sure.
It forces you, it's an activity, it's an action that forces you to be present, right? When you are present, then that repetitive negative thinking, worry, fear is increased or decreased. What do you think?
I think it decreases
for sure
because you're focused.
That is correct.
Focused.
Yeah. So of course, now we have what has the act of. It's not the act of gardening. It's the mental and emotional response that you cultivate through the action of gardening, which is being present in the moment, doing something you enjoy. These are positive emotions. You are doing physical activity. You are one with nature, and that is healing properties.
Yes.
That it promotes low inflammation. Just touching the earth has been clinically proven to lower inflammation in the body. So you can call it gardening. You can call it a wonderful conversation. You can call it a vacation. That translates to you are present. You've quieted the mind. You are immersed yourself in a state of joy and happiness and calming.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when you do that, the body then responds in kind because your body is made up of trillions of cells that release hormones and proteins and chemicals every second of every moment of every day, which respond to your state of being, which is your dominant mental, emotional, and energetic state. Yes?
Yes.
So we can say garden would be net negative or net positive mood.
Positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now, whether it's gardening, positive emotional state, lowers cortisol.
Okay. Okay.
Reduces stress hormones.
Okay. Yeah.
Reduces inflammation. That improves the brain fog, fatigue, the low energy. That improves the sleep. That improves the gut. That improves the mood. It lowers adrenaline, which is a stress hormone that puts strain on the heart. When you are relaxed, when you are present, arteries relax, blood pressure improves, heart rate normalizes. Plaque buildup in the heart, arteries pause because there's no longer the root causes. Blood sugar regulates. There's an increase in DHEA, which is an anti-aging hormone, so we're aging slower. Okay? Our immune system strengthens. So you have conducted an activity which allows the body to thrive, because the body thrives and functions optimally in positive mental, emotional, and energetic states. You can call it gardening. You can call it being around those you love. You can call it making a conscious decision to just make that a lived place. Living in the present moment, quieting the repetitive negative thinking, living in a state of gratitude and appreciation, optimism, love, happiness, joy. That doesn't mean life is perfect. That means you want to be healthy. Whoever's the gardener, whoever enjoys these activities, just understand what does that, whether it's fishing, right?
Right.
Because I always
Yes.
ask patients,
Yes, sir.
what is the happiest thought you can possibly think of?
Yes.
It's either fishing, it's gardening, it's with their grandchildren. I don't care what it is. Let's do it. Everyone in the room. Stop thinking. Just be present. Just be present. Whether you're driving, whether you're at work, I actually prefer it when you're doing activities because it shows you how powerful your awareness is. Just stop thinking. Be in the present moment. Eyes open, eyes closed, it doesn't matter. And instantly, you feel a little lighter. You feel a little calmer. The mind's like a highway of thoughts. But thoughts need energy to survive. So when you just ignore it, you feel it in every cell of your body, that sense of calmness, that sense of lightness. This is how we were designed to live. And when you are in that place, just understand your heart cycles blood through your entire body every 60 seconds. Your cells are releasing hormones and proteins that either promote disease or healing. Stress, worry, anxiety, fear, guilt, regret, dwelling on past traumas, physical, emotional, spiritual, and I know that's so tough. This survival mode. Understand, your heart's circulating blood every 60 seconds. That is now high inflammation, increased heart strain, blood that every tissue of your body's getting. So by doing this simple 60-second exercise that we just did, where you just quieting the mind, that repetitive negative thinking, just being present, it takes effort. It takes effort. But once you've done it and you feel the difference, just know that blood that's circulating to every tissue of your body is one that promotes healing and recovery and low inflammation, reduced heart strain, relaxed blood vessels, strong immune system. So I have a question for you, Paris. Mm-hmm. If you can now live your life in a way that promotes low inflammation, reduced heart strain, regulated blood sugar, slow down aging, strong immune system, I don't care where you're at today, where do you think your life and your health is going to be in a week, a month, 3 months?
It improves.
Okay.
It improves.
There we go. So that's the answer.
Well, I want to go underneath that answer to one of the reasons we enjoy having you here is because this is practical advice that we are giving the audience here, that you are giving the audience. And I understand a mind that has been locked into trauma at some level or other. There's a resistance to even, I would say we want to be happy, but there's a resistance to indulge in the effort to be happy.
We, as individuals, and as humanity as a whole, do not have a choice but to do this and live this way if you wish to be well. If you wish to take your health back, if you wish to have control over your health, there are 3 non-negotiable factors that we must optimize. And what I love about this is that this focuses on 3 things that you have complete control over. You're not required to give your power away to anyone or anything outside of yourself. This is all about self-empowerment and putting your health in the best position to be well and to live the best version of yourself. And it's 3 things. Number 1, mind, emotion, and awareness. And what we just did, why I like doing this I do it with my patients all the time. Because once you do it and feel that difference, that lighter feeling is healing. So once you do it, you understand. And that's all it takes is one time. And then it's just practice, because it takes practice. But anyone can learn this. And then we were just never taught this. And so mind, emotion, awareness, nutrition. I'm done with the word diet. I have some trauma from diets. Okay?
You swore off diets.
I'm done.
You're done.
Well, I've gained and lost 100 pounds twice in my life. So I understand the negative, vicious cycle that is. And it wasn't until I understood the mind, emotion, awareness aspect is the reason why I am who I am today. So I don't guess this. I did not read this. I don't not get. Well, this is not a guess.
Right.
This is 100% certainty. And then, so mind, emotion, awareness, nutrition, and then movement. Some form of daily activity. It doesn't matter where you are today. Being mindful, being aware. What is awareness? It's going to be a popular term.
Yeah.
Because the moment truth starts hitting the surface, because this is the only thing that's going to help you. There's so many people that are going to just work to manipulate that.
Yes.
So this is something that is very sacred and that is very important for people to understand. So awareness is simply being aware of what you're thinking, how you're feeling. You being in control of yourself. That's all it is. And and then nutrition. So I was thinking about it, okay, how do we get this point across? Think about it. We're born on this place called Earth, right? Let's exclude corporations for a second. What would you be eating? Protein, fruit, vegetable, water. And thank God someone was blessed who knew how to make coffee, because they're the boss, right? Tea. Right? So single, whole, ingredient, natural foods where you can pronounce the words. We don't need to overcomplicate it. It's very difficult to overeat that. It's essentially kind of impossible. So protein, fresh fruit, fresh veggies, staying hydrated, drinking water. Your body is approximately 60% water.
Yes.
Every chemical, every interaction travels through water. So being hydrated is very important. Okay?
Yes.
And then some form of daily movement. 15, 20-minute walk is what I like to say, just to establish a foundation. And of course, there's levels to the game. You want to be in shape. You want to do bodybuilding. You want to be strong, right? Weightlifting. I know there's different things about yoga and stuff, but it's all about your intention when you do something. So Pilates, stretching, anything to get you moving and build strength. So imagine now, we don't need to overcomplicate this. And by the way, if you hear something and it seems overcomplicated, run away from it. Because real truth is simple, easy to understand, is all-encompassing. It's freeing, it's liberating, and it leads to your self-empowerment. Anything that requires you to take your power away and give it to someone else, please question that. So imagine now moving forward. We're now mindful. we are aware of what we're thinking, how we're feeling. We choose to live present. We wake up calm. And I have to remind myself this. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to myself.
Sure.
I have, because I know what it's like.
Yes.
And by the way, that old self never goes away. The temptations are always there. The fast food calls me all the time. All the time. The Dr. Pepper calls me, right?
Yeah.
But so it takes practice. And so when you wake up and you remind yourself that how I think matters, how I feel matters, how I speak matters. If you're not happy with your health and the direction your life is going, continuing to think in negative terms, speaking negatively to you, and feeling bad, you're never going to change. Now, sometimes you can you got to change something. How you think, how you eat, how you move.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start changing momentum, speaking better, I'd rather you think of nothing than think of something negative. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And then eating whole natural foods, that's not complicated, just
Right.
foods that have ingredients you can pronounce. And then going on a daily 15 to 20 minute walk, the direction of your life will absolutely transform. Now, mindfulness practices are very important. It helps me, right? I can just only speak for myself, and I know what all the evidence shows.
Yeah.
Because what you said, isn't it addicting to fear, to stress? And yeah, it can have that power. It's like a drug, right? I don't care what your drug is. Negative thinking is a drug. So, and lifting weights, you have to practice at it. You have to go to the gym, getting in shape. You need to start walking. You want to feel better, you need to start eating better. You want to think better, you have to practice. Now, but before you practice something, you have to have awareness that it's actually a thing, right? And you don't just get a disease. You don't just develop hypertension. Oh, we live in a society where sickness is the norm. It's been normalized. Symptoms are normal. As you age, you're going to feel bad, right? You're going to get arthritis. You're going to have heart disease. Yeah, we all do, right? No, something is driving that disease process. And when you really just work backwards all the way that, okay, something's increasing stress hormones in the body that's driving inflammation and increasing strain on my heart. Okay. And then what are those? Inactivity, poor nutrition, processed food, sugar, man-made things, negative thinking, speaking, feeling. There's really nothing else.
Big drivers.
There's nothing else.
Yes.
Now you could say family history. However, positive behavior and lifestyle changes influence gene expression. So you are not handcuffed to your family history, so that's debunked. So we optimize how we think. Well, first of all, we have to be aware that these are the root causes, right? So I'll open the floor.
Well, no, it's
this is the answer, and it's so simple, and it's common sense, and that's the beauty of it.
The part where we were talking about the practice of doing a thing, and this is where for some, I ran up against it early on, years ago, but I found out, here's what I found out. I would hear and read, I would see and read these things, and they made sense on a level, so I would try them. And what I began to notice, and bear in mind, this is some years ago, and maybe occasionally now, really, as I'm doing these things, old thoughts will pop up, old ways of behavior, like it doesn't hurt to have just a little of this or a little of that. And then when you focus on that, those thoughts become empowered again.
That is correct.
Right?
100%.
And so then, before you know it, you are doing that again. Because here's another thing that I read recently. It says, the body will make a decision before you are aware of it. And before you know it, you are acting on something. Because sometimes you become conscious of an action after the body is already completing it. Can you?
So I read something like that.
Yeah.
That I read something like that, and it's like interesting. Now, what I want to focus on though is that you have the power.
Yes.
With your awareness to override any program.
Precisely. That part, right?
Yes. So what you're saying is consciousness and awareness is foundational and it's primary, not secondary. This is
say that again.
Consciousness, which is who you are, and your awareness is foundational and primary. It is not secondary.
Yes.
We've grown up in an environment, in an education system, and everything that places thoughts, emotions, awareness, which is essentially consciousness, as a byproduct of evolution. Now, all the science is showing that we might have gotten that wrong, but I'm not here to point or any that doesn't get us anywhere. Consciousness, awareness is primary and foundational, and then everything flows from that. So this conversation, this message is to re-establish the proper order of things. And once we re-establish that within ourselves, because this is the only way, you will be healthy on your own. There's no other way.
Yes. Yes.
And once we re-establish that internally, you feel better just having this conversation? Like it's like a sense of calmness.
Yes, absolutely.
A sense of peace.
Absolutely.
A sense of absolutely knowing that this feels right. And imagine now once we all understand this and realign, and now we start working with the laws of creation and nature, the external will correct itself. It has no choice.
It has been my experience that.
But as long as we remain distracted in fear of all these headlines and this and that and fear and famine and blah, 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 you will never get to this place.
Is the answer the reset? The reset that you're talking about. There are places in between those thoughts, right? That when we did that exercise a few minutes ago.
And do that, by the way, everyone should do that a few minutes every day.
Being present.
Yeah.
I even now do it sometimes to the distraction of the audience, because there's sometimes I have to pause to remind myself where I am, what I want to, and I'm not trying to remember a script. I just need that pause sometimes because it centers us. And we seem to be uncomfortable with pauses, and so our thoughts rush and we try to keep up with our thoughts, and we wind up saying things sometimes I don't think we've fully thought through.
I've done that many times.
For one thing, right? But what I find is when I slow down, I get that breath in. And here's what I wish you would. Here's what I'd like you to tell us about the breath. You talked about the toxins, I'm going to call them, I hope that's right, that build up in our bodies.
That's fair.
Okay, so by expelling those breaths, those things that does that help remove
100%. So let's do it now.
Okay.
Everyone who's listening, whether driving or at work or it doesn't matter, just be still, quiet the mind, which means quiet that repetitive thinking, and just slow the breath. like in 5 seconds, out 5 seconds. You instantly feel lighter.
Yeah.
Just slow breathing.
Yes.
Control.
Yes.
So yes,
Yeah.
because when you do that, the moment we unlock awareness and we wake up from that distraction and we regain control of ourselves, slow breathing is a beautiful way. We're doing it right now. You feel it.
Sure. Sure.
And I hope
Yes,
everyone
yes,
who's
yes.
listening who's never done this, do it. Slow, deep breathing in 5 seconds, out 5 seconds. You don't have to count or make this a technical thing, but just slow breathing. People
Because you can feel it.
intuitively know
Yeah.
to do that when they get anxious.
Yeah.
So does that, to answer your question, does that translate to healthier physiology? Yes. That lowers inflammation, that decreases heart strain, that strengthens the immune system, that regulates blood sugar, that slows down the aging process. So yes, absolutely. It's a very powerful thing and natural thing to do that promotes healing, wellness, and well-being.
So that says to me that
All the powers
what
within
you're
you,
saying-
that is correct. Sorry. Did I kill your punchline?
No. Because we open with that in the mornings here on the magazine. We tell them all the good stuff is on your side of the lock. No matter what's going on out there, your happiness is within you. The thing you want, the power is on the good stuff is on the inside. We say, and it's not original, but we say it's an inside job.
My words revealed information passed through him to me, huh?
Yeah,
Someone smart mentioned that.
Yeah, you read that.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Thank you for that. But so here's the thing. I say this for those people out there. This is sort of a drumbeat over here, not because I have perfected it, but because I want my audience to go.
You're
through
never going to
certain
perfect
things.
this. Yeah,
I want my audience to go through certain things with me, and then to say, I know the difficulty, the challenges of getting to a place where you are actually comfortable that something, quote, is working. Because when we have these repetitive thoughts, they are often thoughts of yesterday. Someone called it practicing failure. Things that we imagined. So things that we imagined. Yes,
Yeah.
please, feel free. I
good
stole
one.
it from somebody. I don't know, attribution to be distributed later. But we keep going. We replay things, or either we rehearse for these failures, and most of them don't come true.
And if you keep doing that, it will come true.
Yeah, precisely.
And
precisely,
so
yes.
the brain responds to how you think and to how you feel.
Yes.
So by replaying the negative, the body is responding as if that is currently happening. So you are forming disease. That negative, repetitive thinking is so harmful for the body that by simply just stopping it, and you don't, in a perfect case scenario,
Yes.
stopping it.
Yes.
Well, first of all, people do that because we were never taught not to.
Right.
People do that. I've done that. I even catch myself. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like,
Yes.
ugh.
Yes.
And it takes, but thankfully, okay, I'm aware that this is not good.
Yes.
I'm aware that I maintain that. This will lead to, this is going to promote inflammation. It's going to impair my ability to think. It's going to impair my ability to connect with people at work. It's going to impair every aspect. It's going to impair my decision making in regards to what I put in my body.
Yes.
That
yes.
bad meal
Yeah.
is a little bit easier.
Yes.
Not going on the 20-minute walk is a little more easier when you're in that negative state. So it's all connected and it all matters. So the brain doesn't know the difference if it's real or if it's a thought. That is so powerful. Now, on the flip side, on a positive note, because we have to, if we're going to speak negative, just flip it in reverse.
Sure.
Right? If fear leads to disease, love promotes healing.
Yes.
If fear leads to chaos in the world, love, order, gratitude must translate to a better world and a freedom and peace for all humanity.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Yes.
We don't need to overcomplicate it.
Yes. Yes.
So the brain doesn't know the difference if that thought is real or you're just replaying it. It's promoting disease-forming. It's creating a disease-forming environment, which will lead to health issues in the future. It starts off smaller with little brain fog. All the brain fog everyone's having is due to the repetitive negative thinking. So by simply being aware, quieting the mind, slowing down the breath, being present, and if you really want to jumpstart the healing process, proactive, positive emotions, and saying, instead of saying, I am bad, I am well, and visualize and imagining feeling healthy, the best version of yourself, feeling good. So many people, we haven't felt good in years. The body forgets. But when you put it in your mind and you feel the emotion of wellness, of thriving, of health, your cells, just as the brain doesn't know if it's that negative thought is real or imagined, the same thing with a positive thought. So when you visualize and imagine each day the perfected version of yourself and optimal health and thriving, guess what the cells start doing? Guess what the brain starts doing? It starts responding to if that is already real.
Yes. Yeah. 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 That's
this, realizing this, and I only realized it because I heard successful people talk about the power of visualizing.
Yes.
I didn't know the science behind
Michael
it.
Jordan, yeah.
So I'm like, if all these successful people are doing it, I'm going to start doing it. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what broke my yo-yo diet. That's what broke the doing well 3 months, 6 months, and then reverting back to the old self, gaining 50, 60, 70 pounds in 6 months. It was by visualizing and seeing it clearly in my mind and then feeling that version of me each day in detail. Even when the mirror had no business to believe that, but I understand that change and transformation starts with the mind and the heart.
They've done a couple of studies that show if you think about lifting a weight, or if you think about running, the slow twitch and the fast twitch muscles, respectively, that center of the brain that controls those, will respond to that. If you're thinking about those things, and that was the kind of information that supports what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
now.
This is indisputable.
No, it is. Yeah.
We're not just chatting.
You
here.
can right.
This is
100%
backed by the science.
Yes, it is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
And now on to that point. Visualizing, imagining is a good. It's, in my opinion, it's a non-negotiable. Because that puts gasoline on the positive direction. Just like negative thinking puts gasoline on poorer health and poorer outcomes, positive thinking with strong emotion, seeing it in your mind, feeling it in every cell of your body, feeling healthy. Whoever's listening, like I said, driving or not, visualize, feel it. Feel healthy, feel happy, feel what does thriving feel like? What does that look like for me? And then your body will respond in kind. And to those experiments on how visualizing affects the muscles, fascia, yes. Now, I can only speak from personal experience. I could visualize till the cows come home. If I didn't put in the work as well as in just the simple daily practices of going on the walk and optimizing my nutrition and lifting the weight on top of the visualization and the imagining, and journaling is very powerful as well. Writing it down. All of these factors work in your favor. Now, can we come to a time in the future where thinking it and feeling it then creates that, you can call it manifestation quicker? I absolutely expect that. But right now, it's optimizing everything. The thought, the word, the emotion, and action in the direction that you prefer.
So with the concentration on health, our mental and our physical health.
It's all connected. We can no longer separate it.
So what do you think about the community farms? You know, there are people, we have gardens over on Alabama Avenue in our communities, places people go, and they can do farming. And I know at Shape Community Center down off Alameda, there's a garden out back. So what do you think about that kind of activity?
I think it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I still need to make my way to a farmer's market. Right? Because I want to support the. I know. I know.
Yeah. Well, this is the digging in the earth, and because as you know, that's therapeutic too, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I want to bring something up to you and get your opinion on it. One of my uncle, very dear to me, we were having a conversation about this, because the only conversations I'm interested in is the ones we're having.
Yes.
And he was like, isn't it fascinating how you can take a seed, put it in mud, in the dirt, water, and it can feed a family? That's how abundant. Really conceptually think about it.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But we do it so often we take it for granted. You can take a seed and it will feed a family.
Yes.
How we haven't scratched the surface to why we are truly here.
Yeah, I think the quantum world has shed is shedding more light on it.
And I have a question to you about those who are interested in planting and who have flowers and who garden. When you approach these plants and flowers with love and appreciation and positive words, thoughts, emotions, what happens?
They grow. They flourish.
Now then let's translate that. And here's why I'm absolutely optimistic about the future of humanity. Because once we implement these practices into our daily lives, you must shift your energy from negative to positive, from fear to love and gratitude. You have no choice if you wish to be well. So if our body thrives in these positive mental, emotional, and energetic states, which it does, it's all been clinically proven, can't we say the earth is alive?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And the earth is a big plant, if you want.
Yes.
I'm not trying to get all, but wouldn't then, if your flowers or your garden thrives when you speak kind words to it, when you do it with your heart open, what's this place going to look like?
Yeah. A lot different than what it does now, for sure. But that's the chief answer. It will be a
unimaginable.
Right. It is.
But that's what we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
So
when we think in terms of our environment being alive,
which it is,
as opposed to thinking of space as being empty, we can think of space as being energy.
Well, space. This empty space between us. I love
that
you brought this up, and I'm prepared for this because I love you brought this up. Our body is not just this physical matter, and the space between us is not empty.
Right. That's right.
And what's nice now is that we're living in a time where truth can be confirmed and verified.
Yes.
So I ask anyone who's skeptical about this, it's a simple Google search.
Yes.
AI is not the most trustworthy, but it helps. It's a
Yes.
tool, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it's not perfect,
Yeah.
right? Perfect. And so let's establish the foundation of a human body. The body is made up of trillions of cells. Each cell is made up of atoms. Atoms are 99.99999% empty space,
Right.
connected by electromagnetic forces.
Yes.
The heart and the brain emit electrical activity.
Mhm.
We check
Sure.
it with an EKG. Anyone who's put stickers on their test and had an
Yeah.
EKG understands that there's electrical activity going on in the body.
Yep. Impulses. Yep.
So a basic, simple physics principle is anything that generates electrical activity emits a magnetic field,
Yes.
right? Which means
Yes.
our body
Yeah.
is actually is emitting an electromagnetic field. This is
Yes.
simple physics. Engineers know this. We just not have connected it to the foundation of the body, right? But it just is. This is why we can feel.
Mhm.
And so the earth has an electromagnetic field.
Mhm.
Correct?
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
should be
Mhm.
common knowledge, but
Yes.
anyone can
Yeah.
Google it.
Yeah.
There's this Schumann
Yeah.
resonance. You
Yes.
can measure it.
Yes. Yes.
There is a 0 point energy that exists in any and all things that it's all connected through the 0 point field that connects us with everything in all of creation.
Yes.
So this is real.
Yeah.
And you can I actually recommend you Googling it and educating yourself on that, because when you understand that, it's overwhelming yet also very empowering. But also for me it was like, wow.
Mhm.
It forces me to take individual responsibility that every thought I think, every word I speak, every emotion I feel, every action I take not only influences myself but those around me in the overall collective. It's
Yeah.
very, very important.
Well,
And
these
that can be used as a force for powerful good.
Absolutely, absolutely. These things have been measured, particularly more so in the 20s when Max Planck and Heisenberg came up with the principles of measurement about how you can measure velocity and speed and location and what you can and can't do. These revelations had impact on our society. We are using tools and gadgets based upon the very thing we're talking about.
That is good.
This is why when we have conversations about wasting money going into space, I'm going, whoa, not so fast, man. Don't hate on that microwave that you got, because that information about that energy came somewhere. These are real things. We speak of packets of light and photon and quanta. I don't know what the hell they mean, but they're real. I know that, right? I know that based on what I can see when the scientific applications are arranged in such a way that they become functional. Because I hit the light and the light comes on.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how all of that electricity got there.
Well, the thing is, because you're right, you can go into the weeds
Yes.
and be just so overwhelmed and
Yes.
confused. And I like to just always circle it back to, why does this matter for me? People are
Yes.
trying to just get by.
Yes.
Why do I care?
Yes.
Right? Well, we should all be aware that there is an underlying energy that connects all things.
Yes. Yes.
That is real.
Yes.
And
That's real.
it triggers an interesting feeling.
Yes.
All the religious texts have said it. Science is just now confirming it. Science is now catching up with the true nature of a human being and the true nature of reality. And now that we understand these simple, immutable, unchangeable truths, we must start living our lives in a way that are in alignment with the laws of nature and creation that promotes health, wellness, and well-being first with yourself. So we don't have to understand how the car works. I just want to know when I go on press start, it works. Now just know that so many people are lacking meaning and purpose, right? That's a big topic nowadays. And that's just because of a lack of a education of how powerful and special you actually are. And that everything you do matters and contributes to the collective. And it can be, and up to this point, our attention, our mind, this lack of awareness. When you are unaware of how powerful your creative power is, guess what? The power goes to those who control the narrative.
Yes.
And we know who they are. So once you regain that, and that's simply through everything I do matters. Every thought I think matters. Negative thoughts lead to disease. Positive thoughts promote healing. My words matter. Negative words lead to disease. Positive words lead to healing. My emotions matter. Negative emotions lead to disease by increasing inflammation and heart strain. Positive emotional states, being calm, grateful. It's not forced positivity. It's just an awareness that, this matters, right? Promotes healing and well-being. And it not only affects, so if the energy within you is connected to all things, then what you do contributes to the overall. That is very powerful. Now, being unaware of this, now you can see why the world's in the shape that it's in. We unknowingly created it through fear, through stress, through worry, through anxiety, through survival mode. And it's no one's fault. No one taught us this. But now that you know it, this should swing the pendulum and bring extreme optimism and hope to the world we see. Because that if I change, now I'm contributing good, not only to myself, which promotes healing and well-being and better health 100% within 3 months. That is an absolute fact. I see it all the time.
I'm speaking with Dr. Nidal Ganem, and let me tell you, Dr. Ganem is here sharing this information because we had our first sit-down some months ago. And it was an interview, and I was doing the organization called me, and this is not a commercial. We have these conversations because I think our audience deserves to have conversations about health. And I thought, cardiologist, okay, this is great, really great. And then when I sat to speak with him and he started talking about the connection, the mind, body, spirit connection, I thought this is great for an audience, any audience, not just this one, who needs to hear more about American audiences and world audiences, but we're here in America, need to hear more about their power. People need to know more about what they are capable of doing because it's been a constant drumbeat, intended or not sometimes, of just how vulnerable we all are. And we're not as fragile as commercial vendors would have us sometimes think. We are rather sturdy. We are rather sturdily created. And some people muscle through it, but it can go and there's so much more than even we all know if we can do it from a field of awareness. And that's what this conversation is with Dr. Ganem this morning. And whenever he comes by, we make time to talk about that. We're talking about Health Month. We're talking about, as he said, every month is health. Every day is health day. Every moment, right?
Every moment, yeah.
So how your patients respond to this? Do they recognize that do they consider your treatment regimen different than other things they have had? Or do they say, well, wait a minute, where are my pills, Doc?
I'll talk about that. Just to provide some real world application to unchangeable truths.
Yeah.
And you had said something, you said, if we implement awareness or something. No, this is not we have to. This is an absolute must, and this is the next step in the evolution of all of us. And so real world application of this is someone comes in, you have a problem, whether that's high blood pressure, that's palpitations, that's AFib, there's a funky heart rhythm when you're checking your blood pressure, you're like, what's going on there? You have chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, the typical things. So prevention's the best medicine, being proactive, very aggressive with screening. We have how you've lived your life up to this point has led to this problem. So we need to diagnose and be aware of what that is. This is why it's once medicine meets self-awareness, healing becomes possible.
Okay.
And that's what excites me. Okay. So it's using the evidence. We have all the tools. We have the screening. We have the ultrasounds, the scans to figure out what's going on. We manage it appropriately. And once we then do that following evidence-based practices, because it works, people get better, right? You have to treat the problem.
Yes.
Right? Now, once that's done through, once again, like proper scans or procedures or whatever is needed at the time, then work to identify what is the root cause and why did this happen. Because if you get a diagnosis, then manage it or do a procedure or open the artery, which is a blessing in and of itself that we have the ability to do that. But then if you keep living the same way, that same disease process is still there. So if you keep thinking the same way, speaking the same way, eating the same way, having the same relationship, having the same work environments, or the same life stressors, right? This is why it comes back. This is why that AFib doesn't improve after that ablation procedure. This is why you need another stent in a year and a half from now. This is why you need another blood pressure pill, because the driving force is still present. So having a health condition is actually a blessing, and it's your body telling you to wake up and make a change. It's your body screaming in pain that a change must be made. So I view it as it's a blessing, because now you're at a crossroads. Now the question now is identifying what change needs to be made to reverse this condition and or prevent it from happening again. And it's simple. I call it doing a life audit, right?
Okay.
So
what does that
it's
entail?
everyone. I don't care what you call it. It's I get a piece of paper and write health issue, and then work backwards to this is due something in your body's causing an increase in stress hormones. And then cortisol, that drives inflammation. That's leading to brain fog, fatigue, low energy, trouble sleeping, gut issues, weight gain, aches and pains. And everyone says, yep, I got that, I got that, I got that. And I'm saying, no, I know you do, because it's the same pathway. Then there's adrenaline, which increases strain on the heart, which leads to blood pressure, heart rate, circulation issues. And then it can drive up blood sugars, A1C. When I see pre-diabetes, I already know something's up. When the A1C's up a little bit, 5.8, 5.9, 6, 6.1, I know. And then immune system's down. So if there's a recurrent infection or sinus infection or something like that. And by the way, also, how you are influences those around you. But that's that'll be another podcast. Sure. So then it's, like I said, the goal of this is self-empowerment for you to position yourself to be in the best position to be healthy, right? So then, okay, something's driving an increase in stress hormones in the body. What is that? Mind, emotion, awareness, nutrition, activity. Okay. And then just break it down. How can I think a little better? First of all, I need to be aware that how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling is causing the problem.
Right.
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 So I hope we're really getting the point across that that is a driving force of increasing stress hormones in the body. Okay. What am I eating? Processed foods, sugar. Okay. How can I improve that? Whole natural foods to the best of your ability.
Right.
Fair?
Sure. Yes.
For me, what helped me with that, I didn't go from addicted to fast food and Dr. Pepper to cooking my own food all at once.
Yes.
It was a transition,
Yes.
right? From fast food all day to cope, right? Because it gives you that emotional sort of,
Your comfort
what's the
food.
word? That comfort, right?
Yes.
But I was like, okay, Chipotle seems a little better, right?
Okay.
I can drink a little more water.
Yeah.
HEB has these simple meals that they pack fresh daily that I can put in an oven.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then through the process of then imagining and visualizing that version of myself I wanted to be, then that opened the door to meeting a health coach, getting on a meal plan, and then having a plan.
So you had a coach.
Oh, yeah. For like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
The only reason why this last year I decided to sort of do it on my own because I needed to take individual responsibility and have the discipline to do it without having to check in once a week with someone else, right? But I knew what I needed at that time because I've tried and failed for years. Was I needed a personalized plan and I needed to be responsible to someone other than myself, accountable to someone other than myself. But I needed that for me.
Yes.
And when you start visualizing and imagining your future self, a funny thing happens. People start walking into your life that you need at the exact right time.
That's right. That's true.
Right?
That's very true.
And then
Yes.
activity. Daily walk, 15, 20 minutes is just something to change that momentum. So
That's very good. That's very good as always. So people should keep a log or a diary or a journal.
So I mean, you don't have to, right? It's I know a lot of and when I say journal, so a lot of people have found value in sitting down, either making time in the morning or at night before you go to bed, and it's an activity that forces you to be present, and all those thoughts, once you write it down, right, or planning your day, planning your meal, planning your workout, right, there's just a lot of power and beneficial effects of putting pen to paper.
That points to, I am going to ask, doesn't that point to another one of the drivers of some of this? We think we don't have enough time to do things. It's like, I wake up in the morning and move. I got to hit the floor. I got to, do the shower, do all of that. And then that thing that I wanted to do or meant to do, I can't do that. I got to get there by so and so and so, right? How much of a attention builder is time on us?
So you're not wrong. Now, and I don't blame anyone. I mean, even myself. I mean,
Sure.
you just
described
our lives, right? For so many years until you become aware and realizing how powerful gaining control of your nervous system actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to make time to do this, right?
Does that include hurting people's feelings sometimes? Saying, no, I can't do this. I don't have
If you're doing this correctly, you will observe that you're saying no a little bit more than yes, right? And you can even tell with professional athletes. Let's just use that as a everyone loves sports, right?
Yes.
Those who are truly great sacrifice a lot of things, birthday parties and things like that, right? Now, it doesn't mean, just because you say no, the time that you do spend, well, number one, if you're taking time for yourself to make yourself better and healthier and anyone is against that that should tell you a lot. And so saying no is just part of the process. And it's a temporary thing until this becomes a part of your routine and a foundation. And once it becomes part of your routine and a foundation, those around you understand, right? And then it just becomes your new way of living. So.
All right. Thought we had a caller there. 713-668-1230. 713-668-1230. And we're speaking with Dr. Ganem. He's got another few minutes here with us. So if you want to get in and ask more about this is fine. But we're here because it is men's health, though, right? I mean, that's the
yes.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
And this is just how health works.
Yeah, sure,
right?
sure,
right?
sure.
And
sure.
so to all the men and women out there, it's just very, very important that being mindful, being aware, having control of what you put in your body, whole natural foods, some form of consistent daily activity will change the momentum of your health in your life 100%.
Sure. All right. I got a caller here for you this morning. All right. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, how you doing, Doctor?
How you doing?
All right, and Uncle Paris and everybody in the room there.
Thank you.
Doctor, let me ask. It took me over 30 years to get to exactly what you're saying through practice. I did kind of got interested in studying metaphysics. So the first law of metaphysics or principle of metaphysics says that the all is mind and the universe is mental. And from that, I need to ask you, what is your knowledge on Tao? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's Tao. And lastly, what are your thoughts about coconut water? Because I'm finding myself drinking that a little bit more.
So you said Tao?
The Tao. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Tao.
the Tao.
Okay. And what was the second thing you said?
And what is your let's see, coconut water?
Coconut water.
I find myself drinking that a little bit more. Is that also kind of, is that more healthier for the body?
So for the coconut water, so whole natural things is better than processed sugary things. Now I know natural coconuts have a lot of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in it. I know the sugar content's a little on the high side, but if it's natural, I'm all for it, given your circumstance, right? Everyone's circumstance is different in regards to if there's any sort of underlying diabetes or pre-diabetes or their weight, and they're monitoring their sugar intake. But overall, for someone who's overall healthy and moving in that right direction, I think natural coconut, that you have to be careful. These guys are very sneaky with marketing, right? And so you have to be careful with that. So natural organic coconut water in and of itself does have health benefits. You just have to be mindful with the sugar content and the calories depending on your goals. Now, in regards to the Tao and spiritualism and all these things, so there's so many things that I'm not necessarily for or against. What I would say is that if what you've read resonates with the message I'm sharing in regards to the foundation of truth in regards to how our health actually works, then great, right? Yeah. Everyone has different paths of getting there. The main thing with that is no matter what path that is, self-empowerment is the most important thing, and anything that requires you to give your power away to something else, that's where I kind of draw the line on that.
I agree with you because it was a master a martial artist, and he's a teacher, and I had asked him because I always would see that type of book in the store. And so I picked it up. I really didn't understand it when I first picked it up, and he told me that Tao is nothing, nothing grandiose. It's just you allowing for nature to flow through you.
Mm-hmm.
It means it's just totally like what you were saying.
Yeah.
You are existing. And like you said about that 0 point that everybody don't even realize that you're going through, I just call to bear witness to what you're saying, because everybody goes through that every day, waking day of their life, because it's in your breathing. Because at one point in time, you breathe in, you breathe out, but there's a little fraction of a second when you don't.
And I appreciate you bringing that up. And even when you, and just to echo that, when you quiet your mind and you force yourself to be present.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
thoughts are quiet and you're just pure awareness. You instantly feel lighter and you feel that moving through you. And that exact state is what promotes healing in the body.
Wow.
Well, I bear witness, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for calling and sharing that.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank
DJ. Yeah, the Tao. I think it means the way. Tao, the Tao. Hello, caller, you're on.
Good morning, Pastor. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Look, I agree with just about everything you've said, but there are exceptions. I'm going to bring up someone, and that's not Paris Eley. Someone that's about to be... No, seriously, on a serious note, there's someone who's about to be 80 years old, Doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, is almost the complete opposite of everything you're saying. And he has the best doctors in the world. And according to him and his staff, he's in almost perfect condition and leads a life of he's a billionaire, has power and everything. So are there exceptions? And he seems to be an exception, or he might just, well, I won't laugh, but it's a serious matter. Are there people like that in the world?
Well, that doesn't sound like an exception. I don't know why that doesn't contradict anything that I've said.
Okay, so how would you explain someone that does everything that you opposite of what you said, and seems to be?
Give me an example.
An example. Where do I start, Barry?
Like how is this
You can call
person being successful in life on a material plane is not an exception. That is actually the goal, right?
In his mind and heart, he believes he's successful in every way imaginable.
Good.
And not just materially. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a gold standard. I don't think that's an exception to anything that I've said.
Okay, maybe the wrong word. I mean,
no, but I would love for you to share because this is a
tell him more about the behavior of the person.
Because
what's a good word for? I use exception and maybe I threw off everything with that one word, but take it over, Pat.
So there's a misconception that being aware, being mindful, being in control of how you think, how you speak, how you feel, and living life in a positive way, that means you have to go live on a mountain and be unquote unquote successful in this life. That is absolutely not true, right? When you are doing the right things mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, nutrition, activity, that must translate to a better career, healthier relationships, happier life.
Okay, I apologize, and I don't have to apologize. I threw you off with my go
ahead. Tell him. Go ahead. Describe it.
Okay. Are you sitting down?
Because you know I have my biases, so go ahead.
President Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. I'll listen up here.
I love that. That is too
that's
funny.
his guy. That's his guy. I mean, it's like, and we go round about this, so that would be unfair for me to clock in on that one. However,
so I'm actually so happy you brought this up.
Can I go back and re-record that?
I'm so
I don't
happy
hear that often.
because this is
No, go ahead.
this is perfect.
Uh-oh.
This is before I get to Trump, I'm going to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Mind, emotion, awareness, nutrition, activity. Now, there are people who drink, who smoke, who eat whatever they want, who have perfect health. Why? Their mind and they are happy, they are fulfilled, they are satisfied. So, what I'm providing is just the blueprint and the foundation that I know will put you in the best position to be successful. Now, it's not one size fits all, right? But if I had to choose which one's the most important, that is getting control of your mental emotional state, 100%. Let me just make that very clear. Now, I'm happy. This is perfect. I don't know who tipped you to call in, but this is excellent. This is what I'm talking about. Who cares? All that matters is what you do right now. As long as we may remain, we must be, we don't must, but being aware of what's going on in the world is fine. But as long as we remain distracted about why this guy, why that guy, why this, why that, why this, or why that, I agree, I disagree, black, white, Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, whatever, we're never going to get to where we need to go. I don't, and then we're not even going to go into all that matters is what you do right now. And we have to remove our distraction from these things. Yes, what's going on in the world is important. The most important thing is what you need to do for yourself. And then act on that. And then the rest will take care of itself. And those who get inspired to take a public office or do a thing or this or that, then you'll know. But as long as we remain distracted and debating about this or that or how this guy got that guy or that billion, that solves nothing. It solves nothing. We're actually contributing to the problem. So if we really want to get to a solution, it's by being aware of what's going on without reacting, because that triggers things, right? That triggers fear, anxiety, some amazement, some good, some bad, right? But it's gaining control of yourself is the most important thing. So I'm actually very happy he brought that up.
Oh yeah, well then you would be thrilled to be around here. He would be ecstatic. He'd be overcome with glee.
But does this make sense?
Yeah,
for us to get to a real solution. You have to take your power back.
But I think his remark says, even when we are listening to advice, we've got to become aware in order to implement it, because there's a difference between thinking highly of yourself, given the fact that you have come to know that within yourself, or that you are about coming to know that, if that's your purpose. If it is your mission to say that I am better than everyone else, and because of, and I've got more money, I'm smarter, I'm more talented, there's something else going on there that's missing in the awareness factor. I think that so I think that's what he was saying, that the president, what I understood Mike to be saying was, well, look, this guy's the president of the United States. He doesn't do any of that, but that's what makes him great.
You don't know what he does.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah,
and what I know, you don't know. We think we know. And there's a lot of judgment going on.
Yes.
And once again, you can debate till the cows come home.
So judgment then could be one of the things that undermines our well-being. Then,
100%.
Right? Being judgmental.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And whether you agree or disagree, it's focusing on your internal, right? And then if it is sending good energy out to him, whether you agree or disagree.
Right.
Because I can tell you, fighting, complaining, and anger actually does nothing to solve the problem and only hurts yourself. And then truly practicing non-judgment in a way, right? Because you don't know. No.
But you can assess. You can make limited decisions, but the judgment does not have to run so deep that you are sure you know who the other person is and how you should, how they should be handled from an eternal basis. I guess how they should be pronounced upon. But when it comes to their policies, you have to separate. You have to separate that.
Focus on yourself.
Focus on
And I'm so happy we're having this because it's so easy to be distracted. Because then this conversation, though, this is a fun conversation. And as long as we talk about this person or that person or what he's doing or what that doing, and I agree with this or I don't agree with this, that is further away from solving the real problem, which is within.
See, there's a version of this that says the judgment that you are pronouncing on another is actually the judgment that's taking place within you, because if you harbor certain feelings, then those feelings are inside of you. I think it was Gandhi who was quoted as saying, it's like taking poison and watching somebody else die, because those emotions can reach such a critical point that you're eating up your own insides with what you're producing in your body.
Yeah, and that's why the focus is controlling what you can control, being present, not worrying about things out of your control, being aware of what's going on without reacting. It takes discipline, a lot of discipline. You don't think I want to talk about this for the next 6 hours?
Sure, I know.
Of course. Because it's
yes,
addicting.
But
you're never going to get to the
solution. I'm never going to get another commercial play.
The solution will never be achieved by remaining focused on something outside of you. Once we have established that, and we've shifted our energy internally, and we start living lives in a way that promotes healing and well-being without judgment of anyone or anything. That doesn't mean no discernment or accountability. Let's make that very clear. But we'll cross that bridge when we have to. Right now, it's how can we live our lives in a way that promotes wellness.
And that's the message for Health Month. As always, we enjoy you being here.
Thank you, Paris.
I'm glad you're spending this time here. So, to all of our friends out there, Miss Angela Leonard, Miss Pamela Shelby, Deborah Bates, Pretty Black, to all of you out there. Annie Wright. Hello, Miss Annie Wright. How are you? And to my guys, Paul Wright, how are you doing? And Bo and Rufus and College Station. You had another episode with Dr. Ganem here, Dr. Nidal Ganem. And any other closing words?
When you catch yourself with a repetitive negative thinking throughout the day, just become aware of that and do your best to pause it. When you wake up, pause it. Throughout the day, when you feel that stress, worry, anxiousness, slow, deep breaths, pause it. Be calm to the best of your ability. Before you go to bed, do some sort of practice just to be aware and mindful. Never go to sleep stressed. Slow, deep breathing is a good way. Imagining your future as you'd like it to be. and go to sleep in that calm, present, positive state, and you do this, implement that simple practice into your life, your health will significantly improve over the next few days, weeks, months.
Looking forward to seeing you again, my friend,
Thank you,
Dr. Nita Organum, everybody. We thank you so much. We thank you so much for being here with us. It's 24 before the hour. Michael Lawrence Harris is up next.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230kcoh.com, Sankeet Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.
A Tip from Gilbert, Mondays 11 a.m. on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
Forest Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly, or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
Informative, entertaining, inspiring. It's the Jackson Political Report, hosted by veteran political strategist Ron Jackson. Ron will discuss local, state, national, and international politics. The show features commentary, guest interviews, and audience dialogue. The Jackson Political Report, this Saturday morning, 10 to 11 on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
Well, thank you. We're glad that. All right. Miss Wanda Anderson, good morning to you and to your husband Purvis. Yes, indeed. Dr. Gannum is something else. He is very special, and not selling anything to the dismay of many, to the dismay of the sales force. However, we want you guys to have this information. Look, I promise you, we're here, we're growing, we're getting older together. We are coming into maturity together. Why not discuss what's really going on with us and where we are? And I don't think it's such a bad thing to try to squeeze some joy out of life as it looks like we might be heading for the exit. I mean, it's great. The sooner we want young people to learn it sooner. I am aware that there are younger people who think as I once thought. Look at them. They did everything they wanted to do when they were young. Now they don't want anybody else to have any fun. I know that thinking. That's not an original thought. I know you may think it is, but it is not. It's just, no, there are some things we think you would probably feel better about yourselves if you say it. Gee, I wish I could have avoided that. Or, why didn't somebody tell me that? Well, there were things that we didn't know. You just heard Dr. Gannum talking about how science, here's the amazing thing. When you look at some of the studies that we're talking about, if you read the scientific literature, if you read health and wellness books, and you look at the things that we thought were old wives' superstitions from back in the day that I was a youngster growing up, and we find out some of those things have truth to them, truth in them. Some have elements of truth, and some are just straight out truth. It's funny how you learn some things. I look at, when I have to get prescriptions sometimes, I look at the ingredients on some of the stuff that we use. Some of those herbs and plants are truly, they have medicinal properties that promote healing. And we were told of that, but we thought that was just something our parents were putting together back in the 40s and 50s. And incidentally, just so you'll know, the same is true in the world of physics. Chemists are recognizing compounds and materials and even finding other elements. We've had additions to the elemental table, things that we didn't know, compositions that we didn't know existed before, or that we were able to compound things that we didn't know were there before, because we're finding elements that weren't there before, that were unknown to us, different types of minerals, things that we didn't see because they were out there, we just couldn't see them. I guess electricity was the tip-off. You couldn't see electricity, and yet we are swimming in it. It is around us everywhere. So we like to have these kinds of conversations that help us to look differently at the world and at our bodies, particularly, at our capabilities. What are we doing that might be slowing down our own advances? What are we doing? What are we doing that prevent us from getting the most out of life? And for the things we enjoy, how can we enjoy them more? And occasionally we have our guests on who speak to just such things. Our nutritionists come in and they tell us about foods that bring life to us, and then we get to hear the story about people like the Ratcliffes, who have quite a story. Ratcliffes were our guests last Friday, and we heard the story about their farm, and you can go on YouTube and hear that past conversation. You will find it on YouTube. Go to 1230 The Source. You will find it there, and also you will hear some of our other conversations as we get them and process them, so that you'll be able to go to specific conversations that we've had, Ralph Cooper and myself, and we enjoy having you with us. And good morning to Lady Lydia Flanagan is with us on Fridays with Diversity of Thought, and she's also here with Sherman on some Mondays, and occasionally she's with us through the week for her insightful comments and contributions. We are we have a new poll that says Tallarico leads Paxton by 3 points in the Texas Senate race. There's information on that saying that Tallarico holds a 3-point edge over State Attorney General Ken Paxton in the Lone Star State Senate race. This is the new poll that's conducted by Texas Pulse. I do not personally know anything about the Texas Pulse organization. That could be my fault. I just don't. That could be my shortcoming. I'm not familiar with their posters or their polling methodologies. They are a polling company, Texas Pulse, and they found that 47% of 807 respondents said they would vote for Tallarico if the election were held now. 44% said they would vote for Paxton, while 2% said they would back another candidate. Tallarico's lead, though, is within the margin of error of 4 percentage points. Texas Pulse is a joint partnership between the Bush School of Government and Public Service at Texas A&M University and Recon MR conducted the poll from June 1st through the 4th. Now, while no Democrats said they would vote for Paxton, 9% of Republicans said they would back Tallarico. After President Trump backed him, Paxton defeated incumbent GOP Senator John Cornyn in the primary runoff last month, with Tallarico extending an olive branch to the four-term senator's supporters after he lost. He said, "We don't agree on everything, but we both still believe in public service." To Senator Cornyn's supporters, he said, "You have a place in our campaign." Among independent respondents to the Texas Pulse poll, Tallarico holds an 18-point lead over Paxton. 4% of independents said they would vote for neither candidate. With less than 5 months before Election Day, Tallarico and Paxton have traded barbs since the latter captured the GOP nomination. Less than 5 months? Is that where we are now? This year has certainly is going quickly. We'll see how it proceeds. And there's a hearing that you should be aware of this morning. Perhaps you'll get a chance to watch it or get an update on it. It's the House hearing on the Southern Poverty Law Center there. And it's held by the House Judiciary Committee. It's going on right now. And they're holding this hearing at on the Southern Poverty Law Center after the Trump administration accused the civil rights group of funneling money to extremist groups. The Southern Poverty Law Center announced in April that it is under investigation by the Justice Department and in May did plead not guilty to using a now defunct informant program to pay hate groups such as the Ku Klux Klan. The center at the time called the indictment the latest manifestation of a top-down retributive campaign, looking for retribution, and asked a judge to toss the case. The hearing, according to the advisory, will look into whether the nonprofit artificially elevated the domestic extremist threat, thereby misleading donors. That hearing has been going on for the past couple of hours now. Up next, Michael Lawrence Harris, and he will be followed by the legendary Ralph Cooper. And I wonder if Ralph's going to talk about the president, how badly you guys treated the president there. Yeah, some of y'all were at home booing the man. President Trump called the NBA a little left wing, but also great on Monday evening after he was booed during Game 3 of the NBA Finals between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs at Madison Square Garden. A reporter asked the president outside Air Force One at John F. Kennedy International Airport if the NBA had turned away from left-wing stuff that they were getting criticized for. Well, it's a little left-wing, replied Trump, who's an avid sports fan. Yeah, I think so. It tends to be a little left-wing, but it's great entertainment. It's great. He added that he thought the reception he received at the game was also great. I mean, I thought it was amazing, actually, Trump continued. You mean when they had the camera on me? I thought it was very good. Yeah, it was certainly amazing. It was. I think mostly cheers. It was loud and it was very enthusiastic. Fans booed the president during Broadway performer Avery Wilson's national anthem performance after an ABC camera showed Trump, who was with his granddaughter, Kai Trump, and Knicks owner James Dolan in his private box. Boos and some cheers were heard throughout the arena. Trump's attendance was scrutinized ahead of the game, with the watch party outside the arena canceled and security efforts by the New York Police Department were tightened in anticipation of his arrival. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said the build-up to Trump's attendance made it a vibe killer. As a politician, I've gone to my fair amount of sports games, she said on Instagram. There are just some things that you don't want to go either to jinx it or just in general. Sometimes the accommodations that are required for the security just for you to show up are not worth shutting down for other people. Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith also blasted Trump's attendance ahead of the game. He was responding to a comment on social platform X. Smith said he has a problem when any politician shows up, causes delays, and interferes with these watch parties buzzing all over New York City. It's not political. It's about the New York Knicks and the vibe this city has got going on. It's not about politics, he wrote. Take that BS. Take somewhere else. Not today. Not now. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries gave a similar rebuke. Trump attended a star-studded game that also featured appearances by a slew of celebrities, including Ben Stiller, Larry David, DJ Khaled, Tracy Morgan, Tina Fey, and Timothy Chalamet. Former White House Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, and New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft also attended the event. The game also marked the first time a sitting president has attended an NBA final game. See, I was unaware of that bit of history. So I'm hoping, with the exception of Knicks fans, it was a relatively good night for most fans, for most of you out there. And I think there's another game. When is the next game? Tomorrow night? Is it tomorrow night or tonight? I don't know. Ralph Cooper for sure will have all of the details, and I'll be listening to what you guys say to Ralph. But Michael Lawrence Harris is up next. I will update you on a couple of items. A bipartisan House effort is afoot to kill the $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund that was created by the Justice Department, so that allies could be paid, allies of President Donald Trump, according to three people granted anonymity to discuss the effort ahead of a formal announcement. Representatives Brian Fitzpatrick, a Republican of Pennsylvania, and Tom Suozzi of New York, the New York Democrat, have drafted text and are taking steps to unveil the legislation soon. Speaker Mike Johnson raised the level of urgency to block the fund among some congressional skeptics when he refused to say Wednesday whether violent January 6th convicts should have access to the taxpayer money. Fitzpatrick said in an interview Wednesday he's waiting to hear back from the Justice Department regarding a list of questions that he sent Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, seeking more information about who will be able to access the fund, which was created pursuant to a settlement between Trump and the IRS. Fitzpatrick said his constituents and others don't want a DOJ slush fund that has not been described or explained to anybody. Now, Blanche is meeting with GOP senators Thursday morning, some of whom want to curtail or block the fund through the immigration enforcement package Senate Republicans are planning to advance today. Johnson would be unlikely to bring the Fitzpatrick-Swazi legislation to the House floor, but Fitzpatrick has been involved in multiple efforts that this Congress has used to discharge petitions to pass bipartisan bills over the GOP's leader's objection. So that's the update on that. 3 minutes before the hour. Stay tuned. You know that Michael Lawrence Harris is up next. We do appreciate you being here with us, ladies and gentlemen. So you just have a great rest of your day. I will not be in tomorrow. We will be out handling other business, health matters, and it's all good. But we will be out. We will not be present tomorrow, and we want to remind you we'll be looking for you on Thursday. Right back here. You meet me right back here on Thursday. So thank you very much.
Informative, entertaining, inspiring. It's the Jackson Political Report, hosted by veteran political strategist Ron Jackson. Ron will discuss local, state, national, and international politics. The show features commentary, guest interviews, and audience dialogue. The Jackson Political Report, this Saturday morning, 10 to 11 on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston, 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
WeServiceUnlimited.com. WeServiceUnlimited.com. 833-937-3788. 833-937-3788. Well, hello! It's getting hot in here. You don't need to worry or have no fear, cause we serve. We serve you. Fix anything you think is nothing we can't do, cause we serve. We serve you. We serve you. Oh, we serve.
Big job, small job. Call We Service Unlimited, 833-937-3788, or go to WeServiceUnlimited.com.
Are you looking for a pharmacy where you're more than just the next person in line, where the pharmacists are friendly, willing to talk to you about your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, where they make deliveries to customers in the general area? Then you need my pharmacy of choice, Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, right off of I-10 East near the 610 Loop. James Muldrow and his staff are there to serve you. I've been a customer for over 37 years. The insurance companies have tried to steer me to the corporate pharmacies, but I prefer Mercury Drive. It's a staple in East Houston, serving Fidelity, Jacinto City, Pleasantville, Fifth Ward, North Shore, Wood Forest, Galena Park, Channel View, offering free delivery to those areas and others. Most insurances are accepted. Mercury Drive Pharmacy is open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. Phone 713-674-6122, 713-674-6122. Mr. Muldrow and his staff are happy to serve you. Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, south of I-10 East.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental, 713-738-1999.
All right. It's that kind of time. I'm on Michael Harris's kind of time. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Well, we will dispose of some of the formalities. I love Michael. You love Michael. Michael loves you. Michael loves Ralph. Michael loves Don. We all love you, and here we all are together. Hello, and I just got through doing quite a show. So, Michael Lawrence, good morning, my friend. Top job.
Yes. Yeah, what's up, Paris Elijah? And it's afternoon now, big fella.
Oh, okay, right. It is afternoon. It is afternoon.
Yeah, I'm still messy, Michael.
But good for you. Good for you. I'm gonna bounce right back with you. All right, you go ahead and open up.
Yeah, well, I know you all cannot see me. I am having to make some modifications here to the internet and other things, because as far as I knew, I was retired. But then when somebody comes to you on their knees begging you, please, Michael, please, it wasn't, no, I'm just joking. But it's really good to be able to communicate with you all again. You know what the number is, 713-668-1230, 713-668-1230. But Paris has to make a run, and I guess he's going to be producing for me when he gets back. It will give me an opportunity to talk to you all about some of the things that I might want to talk to you about, but what's more important are the things that you want to talk to me about, but we can't do that until Paris gets back. But one thing that I have noticed, and one thing that is bothering the heck out of me, is America's refusal to admit that we have the wrong president. Now, that is my humble opinion. It doesn't have to do with anything about his color or about his politics. Well, the politics it does, because being a black man living in America, a 74-year-old black man, I've seen a lot of changes, and they have been positive changes. But what I'm seeing now are negative changes. It appears to me that the current administration, the MAGA movement, seems to be intent on setting up this color-coded, male-dominated society that we had for over 100 years in this country. And that scares me. Not scares me in terms of I'm running from them, but it scares me from the ideas that these people are spreading, what they are doing. How many hundreds of millions of dollars does the President of the United States want to spend on a ballroom so that I guess he can put more of his gold-plated stuff on the walls and say that he did this or that? We have an egomaniacal person sitting in that position of power, who, in my opinion, is a liar, who, in the opinions of his wives, are cheaters. In the Epstein files, you see that he has the potential and probably is a pedophile. He has been accused of rape. And the lady, what's her name, E. Jean Carroll, has never backed off of it. So we are in the midst of I guess you could say, a civilization crisis, a moral crisis. Our schools in our communities, they used to talk about community schools. All of a sudden, they don't want community schools anymore. They're shutting down schools in minority neighborhoods so that your children either have to ride the bus, make long walks, in some cases, dash across train tracks. Things are not done to preserve the lives and the lifestyles of those people who are under the middle class. And yes, sir, yes, ma'am, I am one of those people who come from under the middle class. When I was born, my mom lived in a public housing project in Galveston called Cedar Terrace. And she went from Cedar Terrace to Old Palm Terrace to New Palm Terrace. My brother and I ended up on it wasn't a plantation because we owned it, well, my grandparents owned it, on a farm up in East Texas with no running water. I used outhouses for the first 10 to 12 years of my life. I remember when we got running water, Paris, Elijah, Eley, and they put in an indoor commode. I don't know if you ever had to move an outhouse. Were you a city boy, T?
Well, I was a town boy. For the first 4 or 5 years there, it was like in the town they would attach them to the house. So you'd still have to go outdoors. It wasn't indoor. So you'd still have to go out the house, but it was attached to the house. You know.
Yeah.
It's like a shotgun house. It's like a shotgun. You know. So you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my sister's father, his parents had a home, and they had a facility in the back, but it did have plumbing to it. It was an actual commode. I don't know why they decided to put well, maybe they just weren't used to using the bathroom in the house. You think that was it?
Yeah. Well, could have been, man. Could have been. I got to study my book, Early Bathroom Habits of 19th century
America. Yeah.
Hello.
Well, no, but do you know what pine is, Paris?
Tine?
P-I-N-E, pine.
No.
Well, pine trees have an unusual sap.
Oh, I thought you said pine. Okay, you said pine trees. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, pine sap.
Pine sap. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we would have to get the axe and go out there and chop into the stub, the base, or whatever you call it when you cut down a pine tree, because all the sap goes into the ground. Well, you go and cut that up, and you put a little bit of a fire to that sap in that pine tree. can get a whole fireplace going. Or what's the other thing that we never had? Thank God, the pot. I guess you could say. No, the pot was on the outside. They also had indoor heaters that were made of steel or iron or something, and you could put one of those things in your house as well. We never had that. We had a fireplace. And then eventually we got gas, and we could burn the gas as long as, and you had a big tank outside of the house. I don't know how many people out there ever had that. I guess you could say that. Well, what would that experience be? It's not nomadic. It's
well, rustic. Does that sound like it? Does that sound like it? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have that rustic experience. So when you all talk to me, you're talking to a guy who has not seen it all, but I've seen a whole lot. I used to have to get off the sidewalks, if you got on the sidewalks at all. Where were you raised, Pete?
I was in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Portsmouth, Virginia. It's one of the landing places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you came.
So I knew a lot about Suffolk, Franklin. See, people. I was in a modernized part of it, relatively speaking, comparatively speaking, because we were we were, in addition to Norfolk is a city, and we were connected by the riverways. So Norfolk, Portsmouth was a town of about 80,000 people at that time, I would imagine, maybe slightly less. So we, you go to some neighborhoods, it was just color TVs and cars parked outside, and other people, other places, you might have the kind of houses that we were talking about, and no car in the driveway, none of them. But most people, we didn't have a lot of cars, a lot of vehicles on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was kind of country life.
Well, now we live in a society where people have access to those things, but too many cannot afford those things. Mm-hmm. And when those things are being paraded in front of folks, mm-hmm. sometimes people make bad decisions. And I remember, I can't tell you how many times I went to school, and I was an A student, but my stomach was growling like a hound dog. Because even though we lived on a farm, Mama might not have gotten up in time to fix us something to eat. Remember butter biscuits?
Yeah. I remember them until I was 70. Man.
Well, you cook some homemade biscuits, and you would put some butter on it, and if you had some sugar, you would put that on it.
Yeah.
And now, and you go to school, and other kids whose parents, I guess, hadn't made the kinds of decisions your parents may have made. Mm-hmm. They're eating rainbow bread with sliced cheese and bologna and salami and whatever else you might have. And there you are eating a butter biscuit. And so people, that's from whence I came, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, but God has blessed me to do pretty well. And I thank him for that. But what we cannot forget is from whence we came. And there are so many people out there who have these issues today. And when people are trying to cut out food programs, shut down schools, raise your taxes at the same time, put polluting architecture, buildings and things in your community in order to lower your value, possibly to take away your lives. This is what we are fighting for. Don't forget, the president wanted to give all of the people who stormed the Capitol, they killed police officers in that thing. He wanted them all pardoned. and wanted them to get money. And they were going to get it. I guess Paris and his crew went up. Y'all went to D.C. and shut that down, right?
After we found out there's nothing there for us, shut it down. Cut me in or cut it out.
Oh, there was something in it for you, for sure. It's not anything that you wanted.
Wanted, right? Okay.
You were empowering these people. Yeah. I am not gay, but I do have gay people in my family.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Me too on that one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
And these people are human beings.
Absolutely.
Anyway, you said we had a call.
But somebody wants to welcome.
But that's where my mind is right now. And while I'm on the phone,
I applaud you for that, incidentally, and I'm going to have more to say about that. But yes, I applaud you for that. Okay.
Because what does the Bible say? What you have done to the least of them is what you have done to me.
Yes.
So just because you don't like how somebody looks, what their sexual orientation happens to be, or whatever, why the heck should it bother you? You ain't sleeping with him or her, are you? How does that hurt you? Yeah. If somebody is going to hell for it, it won't be you. You're not doing it. You may be going to hell for your selfishness, for your hatred, your bigotry, your thievery. Again, don't forget, we allegedly steal. Remember that thing about the boy who supposedly stole potato chips, and they had about 2 or 3 squad cars surrounding him, and he says he paid for the potato chip. You can spend that time prosecuting what was like a 6 or 7-year-old boy, but you can have 60 and 70 and 50 and 40-year-old people storming the Capitol, and you want to give them a pardon and a few $100,000 as compensation for being arrested. Something is wrong, my friend. Something is wrong.
Yes, indeed.
Now, I'm going to be quiet, but that's where my mind is.
Only for a moment, because you got somebody who wants to welcome you back. I'm sure there are a lot of people who do, but we've got this caller on. Hello, caller. You're on with Michael Lawrence.
Thank you, Prophet. Paris in Houston. But look here, I can at least tell the Michael Lawrence Harris, and for the people, by the people, for the people. And something is wrong, but guess what? I got another chance to say that I still love you, and it's just good to hear your voice on the radio. And I hope Yvonne is doing pretty good today also, along with you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. Are you married?
Oh, no, my wife had 20-some years ago. I'm looking for a love, like Bobby Womack said. So, hey, I had what I had in life, and guess what? Hey, those things are, been going by the wayside. But it is good to experience it, though, because Yvonne and my late wife, they went to Kashmir together back in the day,
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I
think life,
I'm picking up on it now.
Huh?
I say I'm picking up on it now.
Oh, okay. But hey, man, look, we're gonna let that go. But look here, I just wanted to say that I don't know if this is gonna be the new format that we have, that you're gonna be back in prime time again, or what?
Look, man, I'm 74 years old. I spend. For those of you who wonder why you don't see me, I spend 8 hours a day on a dialysis machine.
Oh, yeah.
I had kidney cancer. They took out the cancerous kidney. The other kidney is, at 74, I guess maybe we worked it too hard or whatever. But they're just having to increase things in order for me to continue here on the earth plane. My sister died just maybe a month ago now. I can't even remember when she died. Just so shocking. She had undergone a kidney transplant, and we were so happy for her, but she died anyway. So we don't know what tomorrow brings. I guess selfishly say sometimes that I wish she just wouldn't have gotten the kidney, because she went through so much trying to stay alive, but she died anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know whether the kidney took her out or not, but I'm just saying right now the focus it should be on making lives better for the people who are here, rather than doing what this government is doing. What you would call it singling out people. If you're gay, you're under attack. But I guess if you're a rich gay and you're putting money into the right political pockets, you're okay. I don't know how this game is played. I just know that we just need to do better. Again, why are they shutting down schools in poor neighborhoods? They should be bettering the infrastructure, maybe lowering the taxes so that people can afford to live there. Think about it. Paris, when you can't afford to live in the ghetto, where can you afford to live?
On the street, I mean, hey,
you talking about the edge of town. You talking about the edge of town. That's it, huh? The edge of the world. Edge of the world, right? Yeah.
But where can you live?
Yeah. Look, hey, you can laugh about it, but it's not funny. Because, you want to do something. I heard the doctor say, love and joy is in the inside. Even if we do and experience certain adversities and challenges in life, you have to keep yourself understanding about the time and the changes that we are having in this world today. But I don't believe in Trump. I don't believe in the Antichrist. And he's a new form of Antichrist that we thought back in the day. It's not getting any better, that's all. So, I mean, if it's just a sign of government, we don't have a chance for the poor, okay?
But what did they say with liberty and justice for all?
For all, yes. Uh-huh.
For all. They didn't say for straight Christian Caucasians.
No, it's the people. It's for the people. It's just we vote them in, but it seems like the priority goes to them rather for the people. They want to.
Yeah, but I need to add a new one. It has to be rich. If you ain't rich, you ain't.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm exempt from that. Okay. Hey, but look here. Hey, Top John, look here. Top John, I just want to commend you for the time and the longevity that God has given you. I always remember W. Leo Daniels when I got my start way back in the 70s. I used to hear some of them old preaching and some of the preachers that came to Greater Jerusalem back in the day. But the faith that I had in life to understand what those old people were giving us back in the day, I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. In reality, only the strong survive, as Jerry Butler said, in these days and times.
Yeah, buddy. I was going to mess with Paris. I was messing with Paris the other day because years ago, what year was that I came to the radio station, Paris?
Oh, that was in the 80s. That was in the 80s, 90s, late 90s, 80s, close to the 80s, 90s, and that
yeah. Okay.
I think, but I heard it went away. But still, his life journey with Tina. Still, he was a foxtrot, but I mean, I think she really made Ike anyway. Okay, but I just want to hear. I heard some of it.
Okay. But the point that I wanted to make again is the imaging. Now, Ike, I'm taller than Ike, but who did they cast to play Ike?
Lawrence Fishburne, right?
Larry Fishburne is either 6'2" or 6'3".
6'2", right? Yeah. I remember
so they cast a 6'2" black man to play a 5'7" Negro.
Like I say, you laugh about it, but it's not funny. It's good. It's good charisma. I mean, it's good. Go ahead. I'm Top Dog. I'm not. I know.
But it's not his charisma. It is planting that fear. Now, Donald Trump supposedly, and she sued him and got money out of him. E. Jean Carroll raped her in a dressing room, but he can become president of the United States. What's his name? Ike, who was seemed to be a nice guy to me. He gets accused of doing something to Tina, and they make a movie about him and demonize him even more.
Yeah, but
You know,
hey, but Robert,
it's just
but
something-
Robert still live in life. That's the way it is in our journey in life today. Okay, we want Barabbas than Jesus. We don't want goodness. We want hurt and pain. It seems that's the way the world is going. All this shooting and mass shooting and young folks killing one another. And this is where our country is headed to.
Well, I just want, what do they say, liberty and justice for
Just
all.
for all. Oh, okay. Hey, I'm going to
liberty.
look at it. Hey, Top Job, you forgot about the
Mhm.
kerosene lamp back in the day. We didn't have lights back in those days, so you didn't put that in the equation of being raised up way back in them sticks back in the day.
Well, guess what? I guess we Harrises were moderately well off. We had electricity.
Oh, we didn't have it. We didn't have the kerosene lamps and coal oil lamps back in those days in Mississippi. And you say, well, you had to burn a lamp with the tip on it, and that was the way we got our life going outside of the outhouse.
Okay. Well, now, we did have some kerosene lamps that were used if the lights went out, because when it got cold, the lines would freeze up sometimes. And then we had that old piece of pine, remember, that we always, those pieces that we kept. If we had to make a trip to the outhouse, you light yourself a piece of pine, put on some thick gloves, and you run to the bathroom. And pray the Lord that you make it, and when you get there, we're greeted by some snakes.
All right. You got you got another caller on, Mike? You got a couple of callers on.
Yeah, well, you city people don't know nothing about that stuff.
All right. Well, you gonna give me some credit. I bought pine saw. All right. Hello, caller. You're on with Michael Lawrence.
Hey, good afternoon, Michael Harris. So good to hear your voice on the radio again. Long time listener, man. Listening to you in the morning, Gospel Melody Hour, your show, from 9 to 11.
Yeah, those were good days. I really appreciate them.
Yeah, I started back listening to KYOK, KCUH back in the last part of the 70s, But I always had a transistor radio when I was a kid, so that's how I caught KYOK 1590, I believe it was, and then kind of move that knob a little bit, to KCOH, and grew up listening to black radio, It's always been, your station. Is it over 60 years now, Mike? KCOA?
Well, Paris is older than I am, if you can believe it.
Yeah, growing up as a kid,
Yeah. No, I'm
growing up
messing
as a
with
kid,
Paris. But KCOH, I think, did it come on in 53 or 54, Paris?
53, I think, Mike. I think it's 53.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was born in 58, so yeah, man, it was, it was, you had AM radio, and the only black music you could hear was on AM radio. So we grew up listening to, the blues and, other, artists, and it's a lot of history with this, station with KYOK at that time in Houston. So, and Mike, I used to do medical transportation.
Okay.
And I used to take, quite a few people to dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I know what you're dealing with, not personally, but just being, helping people with kidney disease, and our blood pressure and diabetes is a big factor in our health and our life as a people of color, so we really, really, really gotta, pay attention to our health. And Paris had a doctor on earlier, and he's pretty informative, Of course, I listened to the show, it's good information out there for people. Now,
Yeah,
Mike,
the
go ahead. What you gonna say?
Oh, I just said the funny thing about my kidney condition is attorneys in New York sent me a letter telling me about the water that we supposedly have in our neighborhood. And this is supposedly a nice neighborhood, okay? The houses range from, $500,000 down, not up, down. I'm just, grateful to be able to be in a nice neighborhood. But they say the water is polluted. It's polluted.
From the ship channel?
No, it's a fresh water district, and they started a lawsuit and asked me that I want to be included. Hell yeah. I'm
right.
suffering. I'm suffering from this possible pollution. But when you can have what's a 500,000 house, Paris? Is that upper middle class or what is it? I don't know.
That's upper middle class.
I would consider that middle class.
Yeah. You're going into a different territory.
Okay, but now if they're sending me polluted water, as the lawyers are saying that they're suing for, what are they doing in other communities?
Yeah.
I grew up over there by that Inglewood rail yard, but people right off of Liberty Road, and I guess far back as Amboy going back on the other side of Lockwood were more probably affected with that, but they still, the people they buying out over there, other people are moving in buying that property. Last time I passed through, and I thought it was still affected, but they seem to have new development over there, and with them frame houses and.
Yeah, but the stuff can be cleaned. Somebody just has to have the willingness to invest the government's money in taking the polluted soil out and making it livable for people. And believe you me, every time I drive through there, because I lived in that area with my aunt and uncle on the northeast side, I see all the development that's going on. Do you see that new hospital that they're expanding the hospital over there? What's the name of the hospital?
LBJ.
LBJ. Yeah, it's taking up 3 or 4 blocks.
All the way to Lockwood. Yeah, all the way to Lockwood, from Kelly to the 16 feeder, all the way back to Lockwood. Yeah.
And guess who will be leaving very soon? Who will be taxed out? I'm 74 years old. I just got I thought they stopped, since we couldn't work anymore, they would give us a cut in taxes. Do they do that, Paris?
I don't know. I haven't seen that. I don't know.
Senior citizen discount.
A senior citizen's discount.
Yeah, well, hey, I still got to show my man. I'm a senior citizen, but people say you still need to show your ID. You don't look it, but I am a senior citizen.
But I just wonder, what do people, if you put a groups of people into situations, unless they're able to go to college and matriculate and become the best of the best. But you look at Trump's cabinet. See any colored folk?
Not in his administration. Not in his administration. And you know what, Mike? I'm just trying to say, you voted for George Bush, man. People used to give you a hard time about Bush. Now,
the reason I voted. Okay, but let me tell you the reason I voted for George Bush. I can't let a Democrat take me for granted. Okay? And if I reach out to you and you're supposed to be my, my man, and you don't respond, and the other man responds, and he tells you he may be lying to you, but at least he's taking the time to talk to you. Now, which one do you think you can trust the most?
The one that's going to talk to you.
At least he's going to give you some BS. The other one just ignores you. He takes you for granted. I didn't vote for him because I wanted to. I voted for him because the other guy had already shown me that he didn't give a rat's patootie about me. No response.
I think, who's that, Al Gore?
We're not going to call that. We ain't going to call that.
Okay.
But I'm just talking about people can take you for granted. They got you. It's sort of like you got a loyal wife or a loyal girlfriend. And you can go out there and be hitting it here, hitting it there, and you just laugh whenever you come back. She knows that she's never going to be treated right. And so I don't give myself to people who have shown me that they don't give a damn about me. I don't do that. You can go to hell.
Yeah, we in a time now.
Huh?
We in these times now that I thought was, all the stuff we had talked about for years, and look where we are right now, man. And the Supreme Court is, everything that was passed by the Supreme Court back then is gone. They have dismantled, and it's going to take a long, long time. We probably ain't going to be here when we think they might change stuff to help people, to be, you got people out here work hard every day and still struggle,
Right.
I've been working all my life, and, and it, I make it, but it's still a struggle, though, man. And
but
thinking
there
about
are no
people.
protections. Paris, one of the things that I hope that you would be able to do, and maybe at some point we could get somebody from the Social Security Administration to explain to us how Social Security works.
Oh yeah, I'll see if we can get somebody. Yeah,
because I've been working all my life, and I'm not knocking the money that I get, but I cannot live off of Social Security.
Yeah.
And my wife gets her Social Security and her teacher's pension, and we have, not living the way that we feel like we should be able to live for all the work that we did and all the taxes that we paid.
Yeah. I get Social Security too, man, but I still got to work.
That's what I'm talking about.
I see a lot of people, older people, still work.
Well, let me add this though. I know the day I do book somebody from Social Security, I know where I'm going to make my money. I'm going to make my money charging the listeners who come over here to get their paperwork filled out, because they sure as the dickens can't get them down in Social Security. So I guess I guess the studio would be overrun with people trying to get questions about their Social Security, boy, because I don't know that they see people. They don't see people like they used to, do they?
Now you got to make an appointment to get to the office.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But I just want to say this, Michael.
I will try that.
I want to say this to you, Mike. It's good to speak with you. We don't know what tomorrow brings, but man, God bless you, man, and your family. And I think it's a saying you used to have, man. But right on, my brother. Keep on pushing on, and enjoy your day, man.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And Paris, I thank you for helping me to ventilate.
Well, you got another caller. Yeah.
It's really venting, but somebody used to say, "Let me ventilate."
Well, you got Yeah,
have a good one, man.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for your call. What's the number here?
713-668-1230. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll never forget.
Yeah. Well, you got another caller. Mike?
Hello.
Oh, yeah?
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hello, caller. You're on with Michael Lawrence Harris.
Yeah, Michael Lawrence Harris and Mr. Paris Eley. Good afternoon to you two men.
Well, look at you. What's up? What's up?
What's up, Mike? You know what? I tell you, I have all the admiration for your handle, Top Jock. You know, what a handle. That earned award is something that you can almost put in your will.
Well, the Chronicle owns the title. I just won the award. And I thank
but it's
them
a hell of a way to be introduced, right? Michael Harris, Top Jock.
Yeah, Top Jock. Yeah. But guess what? When Michael Harris won the Top Jock, what happened to the Top Jock?
Well, hey, you know, I don't know. I mean, you among your neighborhood and peers, you probably had a lot of admiration, but you know.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about me. This was supposed to be a yearly contest in order to spark interest in broadcasting, you know, by the way, and to help sell newspapers for the Chronicle.
Okay.
Don't forget, I still have my memorabilia from it. The Top Jock looked like Cary Grant, and his girlfriend was a blonde like Marilyn Monroe. When I won, did you see the Top Jock logo anymore? Did it have me and Yvonne?
No, you're gonna have to post that. You're gonna have to post that.
No, it did not happen. And did the Top Jock happen anymore? It wasn't supposed to be a one-trick pony. It was supposed to be something that was continuous. But there's something about some folk, maybe it was the advertisers or whomever in corporate America, that they just didn't want no chocolate Top Jock.
Oh, Lord. And when was that, Mike?
I'm telling the truth. Man, I was supposed to make appearances. You may not have been there, but I rode an elephant. I was like the Grand Marshal for the Shriners thing that they had over there. Mm-hmm. There were all kinds of things. This was a promotion that was supposed to elevate the Chronicle and elevate the broadcast media. But old dog Michael won, and it was one and done. Am I lying?
What did you get? What did you get that you liked other than the handshake?
What did I get? The right to talk more crap.
Okay.
Well, that's about it. Oh yeah, you know, it brought some things. I ended up, you know, getting invited to go on that. What would you call that? When we went to Israel and stuff. I got some side benefits from it. But what I'm talking about is when we win something. It's like when Barack Obama won the presidency. This country almost went crazy. You know that, right?
I don't. I think I remember the celebration. You know.
Yeah, but who was celebrating? Who was celebrating?
Well, I was celebrating. I remember people around me celebrating. You know, that's what I remember when he won first.
And what did it get us? After Obama was elected, they tried some stuff, and you end up with Donald Trump.
Well, it's a long leap, you know, to go from Obama to Trump. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about something you mentioned, Mike, that made me consider something. You mentioned the idea of, you know, it relates to the economy right now, that people are not doing well. And, you know, I was thinking in my mind, I said, well, I'm not necessarily agreeing with that in what I'm seeing, because, you know, I was thinking, I said, well, I know people who have relatively new houses, and this may just be a black thing, right? It's always been like, I think this is something we always had come across in conversation coming up. And they may only have one person in that house. And they may have a relative the same way, one person in that house. They may even have apartments, one person in the house, or they may have houses, a big two-story house with two people in them. So you have this situation in my mind. Well, you have, and this may be a fallout, and I always say things, are ironic when it comes to Trump, because if I look at the Hispanic community, and I see multiple grown people in one house. Okay. This is something that's been present for a long time. So when I hear people say that people are doing bad, not they always, it's third person. It's not necessarily them. They're saying it's people they know. Yet I look at this phenomenon that exists in our community, where we have people who are in a situation where they could have 2 or 3 or 4 people living with them in one house sharing those expenses, whereas we choose to have one person covering the whole expense. Now, this is something that if people are thinking that things are bad, why I'm not seeing this transition? Or maybe you are seeing this.
Well, I understand where you're coming from. Now, I happen to be one of those people who was helped. When I came to Houston, I lived with my Aunt Nevero and my Uncle Leo for like a year and a half. And the only thing that I had to do in order to repay them was to go to school. I was over at UH. And when I was not at school, my job was to take care of little Leona. I did that. Then when they told me, I guess that Leona, I don't know, maybe it's just time for me to go. Maybe I was cramping their style. They helped me get an apartment that I shared with some other guys, Mike Martin, Eddie. I can't remember Eddie's last name, but there were 4 of us living in the Cougar apartment. But they provided me with that initial money, got my grant money, my loan money, and we went from there. I don't know what has happened in society. I've had my sister and her daughter live with me for over a year for free. I didn't ask them for anything, and guess what? They didn't give me that neither. My sister recently passed, and I'm grateful that God gave me. I had a house that I could bring my sister and her daughter to. My Uncle Lee's daughter from Detroit, Lee passed away, but he hadn't passed away when she came, but she came to be close to her dad. She didn't stay with him. She and her daughter, they stayed with us for about a year. Again, it's not all people, but if you want people to have a certain mindset, then you have to set the example. You have to set the example. And because Nev and Leo opened their doors for me, and Uncle Diasi down in Galveston opened his doors for me in McQuestion, that, I guess you could say, set the path in our mind that we have to do for family. When I got sick, when I had that first kidney cancer, people actually came by and gave me money because I guess they saw some value in me. And so what we have to do is develop a culture where we actually see value in people. Now, if you have somebody coming at you and that person ain't nothing but a user and that ain't trying to do nothing for themselves, then you try to inspire them or give them an opportunity to work, to do something, to make some money. But you don't give something to somebody who doesn't want to do anything. You have to transform them into people who want to work, who want to produce. If all they want to do is mooch, then certainly But see, this is how certain segments of white America, and I guess brown America, anybody who happens not to be black, wants to manufacture about black folks. All we want is something for nothing, which is BULL. I'll just stop there. We want to
I've
work.
heard that line. Yeah, I've heard that line directly from out of a white person's mouth. When the elections were going on with Trump.
They won't. No, we just want equal pay.
Some people do think that.
Yeah, but they want to pay us less, work us harder, disrespect us, deny us opportunities, but we are the problem. No, just treat us like you treat any other American. Give us the opportunity. Paris says I have a couple of other callers.
But I wanted to ask you. I want you to zoom in on the idea that if people are under duress, as stated or rumored anyway, why don't I see more moving vans or a rocket mover, or whatever the name of the company, in front of these houses where people are living by themselves, essentially in 3 and 4 bedroom homes by themselves, footing all the expense of these houses? Why not why not get an ally and more than one, and then both people can profit, or more than one can profit? That seems to be something that would make a difference.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. As I talked to you earlier, I mentioned that I have 2 family members, 2 family groups come and live with me in the last few years. What we have, unfortunately, for a number of people, is that they're takers and not givers. In order to live comfortably with someone, there has to be give and take. There is helping and being helped. If all you're going to do is sit on your lazy behind and watch my television, you don't clean nothing, you don't buy nothing, you don't help with nothing, you don't treat people with
I can't
respect.
imagine that, Mike. I can't imagine that today, if a person's coming from an independent situation and moving in with another person, that what you're saying to me, I cannot imagine lasting for a little while, because you can write it out and get it structured. But I was just throwing the idea out because I heard what you said about, and I hear this, but I don't see it in HEB, and I don't see it, around in the stores and everything, and I don't see the moving vans. But I'll let somebody else get in, Mike. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's conversation. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's conversation. And I'm just saying that if you want help, then be helpful.
Okay.
Don't say I don't have a home, and then I said, well, you can come and stay with me, and all you do is lay up on your behind and eat my food. You don't clean nothing, don't wash nothing, don't bring nothing. Why in the hell should I waste? If you see yourself as nothing, I can't make something out of you. You have to have that in you. And I'm not going to carry you. You're not a baby. Work. Help me. Help you. And if you can't do that, then you got to go. Bye.
All right, I got to love the energy. Hello, caller. You're on with Michael. Top job.
Ain't no doubt about that, Mike. Thank you, Paris.
Hey,
I totally agree with you on everything that you said, and I got to tell you, you a strong man, you wise, and you better than me, because if I had somebody stand with me because they needed to, you would expect him to help with some type of chores and assist you, or at least ask you what you need. What can I do with my limited resources, Mike? And if they don't ask you none of that, they don't do anything, now with me, you more man than I am, because the most they'll get is maybe 2, if they lucky, 3 meals, and then I'm going to give them some Greyhound bus fare. I'm going to say, look here, go get you another sucker, because you don't measure up to stay with me. But I understand you got compassion, I do too, but With me, you have to be worthy. But anyway, I'm glad you're back. My main topic was that while I was looking at CNN about 10 minutes ago, Iran just shot down an Apache helicopter, and Trump responded by saying, we got to respond. And then it was blank because the predicament that he put us in by not conferring with our allies, the NATO, who he expected once he got his foot in a crack by attacking them, initiated by Israelis. The prime minister is really smarter than Trump. He pulls his string. But now, with this recent attack on the past, he's trying to get us out of this financial situation we have. We done dug ourselves, not us, not me, but since I stay in the United States, I'm part of it. Because whatever happens is going to happen to me unless I deport myself, and I'm not going nowhere. But he is a true idiot. I looked up something yesterday evening, and I noticed all the untruth and the lies. He got this pattern, and he believes in his lies, and it is called, we look at applied psychology course, pathological liars. They have characteristics, and he fit every one of the characteristics that he described. Number one, he's very narcissistic, ego, and he takes advantage of any situation, especially monetary. He has raped and continuously raped because he got 3 more years or more in the United States. When he leaves, we will be essentially broke. And he would tell you, I did my best while he's smiling, becoming the richest man in the United States. He's evil. If I can compare him to anything of an organic source, I could accurately describe him as nasty taking puke, throw up. That's the type of human being that I see that he's always been. People act surprised. He's always been accused of rape. He's always done despicable things.
Okay.
And it's right there.
I do have to jump in, Bob. I do have to jump in because I got one more caller before Mike gets out of here.
Go right ahead.
Okay. All right, Captain. Okay.
Appreciate y'all, Mike.
Okay.
Be cool.
Okay.
All right.
Michael,
Good hearing from you.
All right.
Yeah.
You got one more caller. Okay.
Hey, Michael. Hey, how you doing, Top?
I'm hanging.
I'm so glad to hear your
you?
voice, man. I'm so glad to hear your voice, especially in the times that we're living in right now. Your voice was always needed, brother. Like I told you, before you had left us, man. I read that to dream the impossible dream to you, and I'm telling you, man, your voice is definitely needed here with us today. And yeah, I just heard what Spivey just said. Now, Uncle P, now you know I told y'all that Trump. I just looked into at some article said Netanyahu and Trump is at odds with each other, and then I think of the other day before it says that Trump said that